Hey, can you hear me?
What is up, everybody? Whew. Are we good, Eric?
We're good. We're good. I'm waiting on you.
All right. Oh my God. This is Turtle Soup. Welcome. This is your boy Ryan,
It's your boy Easy.
and you are listening once again to Turtle Soup, the internet, nay, the world's only community-supported podcast dedicated to the ongoing journey of the TMNT, all the way from the very, very beginning until I do 3 podcasts in 3 days.
Three
I've
in
already
3
got
days.
2 and 2. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
I'm
my
a
goodness.
machine. Absolute machine.
Professional podcaster, I'd say.
And let me tell you something else about machines.
Tell
YouTube is a
me.
machine.
YouTube is.
And,
Yes.
and we are on the YouTube machine. If you open up your pocket machine, your desktop computing device, personal computer of any kind, your iPadular device machine,
Your iPad
even maybe your time machine.
Oh.
You can always check us out on YouTube. We are live currently on YouTube, and so be sure to subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notifications. Eric does pretty trailers for all of our episodes. He's been working diligently on that. We also have other new videos and other content coming in video form, as well as the Thursday live show. So if you are listening to the podcast, we definitely it's Thursdays at 8:30 Eastern. If you wanted to come by and check it out, get in the comments and hang out. But of course, if you're just a podcast listener, man, we appreciate you too. You know what I'm saying? And there's 2 people that we really appreciate this episode. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
They are family. They are patrons. They help the Foot Clan not destroy the podcast. We don't say clang.
We don't. Never.
We can count on them because that's what they told us.
Yep.
I mean, I could keep going, but I won't because it could be embarrassing to such wonderful individuals as themselves. Who are like, I'm just here. Just say my name.
Yeah.
And I will.
Do it.
David Wagner and John Clemens. You know what I'm saying? Both of y'all. David Wagner's long time. John Clemens, currently on top of the chuckle bus, sunning himself. It's a real thing. So we love you guys. Thanks so much for helping out the show, and to all of our patrons, past, present, and future. You guys help the show actually go forward, and we wouldn't be here without you.
Definitely. So speaking of Patreon, just ordered everyone's shirts that qualified for them, and I've got all the stuff ready to make the last batch of coasters for the time being, because I think we're going to move to magnets that I'm going to be making. But we're finishing out the final touches of what exactly is going to be changing with the Patreon, but a lot of fun stuff's going to be coming in, and it's going to be a good time. So keep your eye out. I was trying to say keep a lookout. Keep on the eye. I don't know what I was trying to say. One way or the other.
Keep those taters peeled.
Yes, definitely. Keep your taters peeled at turtlesoupshow.com and just our socials or whatever, and we'll be posting about it. But definitely by the end of the month, we'll have it all wrapped up and ready to go, and we'll have a shiny new Patreon for everybody. And again, thank you.
That's all. Yeah, that's all at the end of the month. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The end of the month could be, it's an exact amount of days away. I don't know how many.
Right. I don't either.
No.
I don't have a calendar.
But all the way at the end of the month, that's a little way from now.
It is.
But in our journey, we're somewhere today.
Yeah, today.
Eric, where are we today in the journey?
Are you, Ryan, let me get specific with you. Are you talking about
Sure.
Where are we presently or in the journey? Where are we? Which one do you want to know first? Because I've got 2 answers for both of those questions.
I'm looking for where we are in the journey.
In the journey? Good. Okay. I was just making sure because I don't want to get things crossed up.
That's what.
Because today is super important. We're talking about we joke on the show a lot. You know, we make jokes. We crack wise. You know.
Oh yeah. We get jokes. We make them.
We get them. We make them.
We craft them.
That's what we do. We're jokes.
At Subway they have sandwich. At Subway they have sandwich artists. We're joke artists.
We're joke artists. Right. So
yes.
All that aside, tonight,
yes,
we're going to be discussing one of the darkest, and I think you'll agree, one of the absolute darkest. Like so dark, won't show up on your camera phone. Gonna need your night vision goggles to see. This is
at least your iPadular device.
Right.
If not something bigger.
Something bigger. I don't know, but it is dark. Almost no more dark than any other Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live action thing you've ever seen in your life. Like, you thought movie 1 was dark.
Yes.
You've not seen what New Zealand has for you. New Zealand's like, you turn off all the lights, we got something different. Yeah. We got something better.
Turn off the lights and all glow.
Right.
Is what they're famous for saying.
Precisely. Yep.
But it doesn't glow that much.
It doesn't glow that much. And I think it's for the better. And you think I'm joking, but this thing is dark, like seriously dark. And I'm going to tell you what we're talking about. We're going to be
Splinter. Okay.
No.
Skipping Stones. Coots was dark.
Yeah.
You skipping Stones. Like, I could barely see Splinter. This looks like a nightmare to me.
Right.
Open up your mouth, baby bird.
Yeah, because you're going to see clan member Splinter tonight. Yeah. It's rough. So, Ryan, we are going all the way back. This is if I'm not mistaken, the last thing in the bag of tricks for right now, for the live action bag of tricks that we've got from Danny. Because if you don't know, Danny, domestic Danny sends us bags of tricks and is like, "Hey guys, you forgot about this." That's my Danny impression. And we're like, "Oh, let's dig through them." Yeah. So,
hey guys, here's this bag.
Yeah. See, there you go.
That's all I got. Yeah.
That was pretty good. But this is the last thing that's in there for the live action stuff. And it's a doozy. 1990. It doesn't really have an actual title, but it is on YouTube. 1990 TMNT live in Auckland, New Zealand stage show.
Yep.
Yeah. This
brought to you by EBS. We'll get into what EBS is. It's not the emergency broadcast system like it is in the States.
Right.
But
exactly. It should be, because it's super dark and it'll make you want to cause an emergency, if you know what I'm saying. So that's what we're covering today in the journey. That's where we're at in the journey. Yes. So Ryan, where are you at in your own personal journey today, my friend?
In my own personal journey, I had the pleasure, the absolute pleasure, you might say, to be invited on dear friend of the show, Noah Overton, his podcast called How He Sees It.
Oh, yeah.
To review and generally discuss one of my favorite films and my only favorite musical, The Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, that's right.
On his newest episode. I was there with him and Steve. It was an awesome time. You guys should definitely go check out that show. It has a lot of the same kind of, him and Steve have a lot of the kind of rapport like Eric and I have. There's just two friends. If you're into cool mixed drinks, they always make a mixed drink at the beginning of each episode and like share it, and it's always thematic. Their drinks for Rocky Horror were on point.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know that.
I brought my own drink to the table.
What was that?
And you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to go check that. You're gonna have baby bird.
I get
that one fell out of the nest. You got to test those wings, learn to fly, go down and get it. But
that's fair.
Go check out How We Sees It. It's on all the platforms and check it out. It was a lot of fun. It's like 3 hours. If you're into Rocky Horror, you'll hear 3 hours of me defend the floor show among other things. It's great, but I had a great conversation. It got deep like a diver, and
that's awesome.
I just want to hype them up. I had a great time, and I would definitely go back if invited. It was a blast.
That's excellent. Yeah,
Noah's that was last night, and now I'm here tonight.
Goodness.
Yeah, he is.
So you're like a marathon man going on here.
I'm back. I mean, I feel a little bit. Excuse me.
Like your favorite.
I feel a little bit like Hollywood Ryan Guy again. Oh. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all thought that Hollywood Ryan Guy went away.
I did.
You know what I'm saying? Because I got done making movies. I said, look, I can't make the movies and still be Hollywood Ryan Guy. I got to dedicate myself to life, my wife and kids, and the show and everything like that. I got to get out the dirty game.
It is. I forgot about Hollywood Ryan. That's good.
That was about the funniest shit ever. But yeah, I'm back, man. Hollywood Ryan Guy. I'm available. Children's birthday parties, podcasts, you name it.
Do you do audiobooks at all? Possibly.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, that's cool.
Give me something. Give me something to say.
Something to
say. I'll show you.
Why don't you?
Feed me a line.
Can you read an email? Like, would that work? Like
it would.
Could you read what? Because I think we have an email. Real quick before we get into that, I'm doing good.
Sure.
So
I wasn't trying to take it over. I mean,
okay.
What were you up to, man?
I was just gonna say that was just a perfect transition, but I kind of just wanted to throw in my thing. No, I'm good. I'm good. Just collecting GI Joe classifieds and getting the Ninja Turtles. We talked about it on the pregame show. but I'm just gonna show them here the laser discs of the TMNT live action movies. So
nice.
Thank you to my bass player Mike, who is a dream, and sincerely appreciate him. So now I just got to find movie 2, and I think I'll be set, because I don't think they did one for 2007, a laser disc.
One of the hardest things I had to walk away from, Father Preston and I, we after work one day, we went to a record store.
Mm-hmm.
It was a movie store. I can't remember the name of it now. It's really cool, like indie kind of horror movie store.
Mm-hmm.
You guys know the name of it, Eric?
Is it Grindhouse?
Grindhouse. We went to Grindhouse, and they have a bunch of laser discs in the back, and and we're looking through them, and I'm like, I look your boy Preston in the dead ass face. I go, look, if they have a copy of Lost Highway,
right,
I'm gonna have a really hard time today. And he was like, all right, yeah, no, I mean, yeah, you know, and Eric, I'm not joking. 3 laser discs later, there it is.
Yep, just right there.
I just called it. I'm like, it was like $45, and I sat there for 20 years. And I literally had to like back away from the machine, and I didn't buy it.
That's
so those laser discs. I know they bring that joy.
They
know
do.
What I'm saying? They spark joy.
But I wish that all movies were released like that. Like, I wish movies had big art, like how vinyl was.
They were substantial. They were like, they were a thing, not a small thing.
Right. They were right, precisely. But
big thing, small thing.
It's things. It's whatever. But no, that's the appeal for me, because I don't have a way to play it, but I just love the big art and stuff. So yeah, the thing. So anyway, I'm sorry, Hollywood Ryan. Would you like to read some of our emails?
I'll do this for free.
For free? Okay. Whew, good.
This is me giving back.
Does this count as community service?
Oh yeah. my PO says it does. I don't know. Like, we'll figure it out.
Figure it out at the court.
So no. I mean, if my boy there, Eric is there, like, the last time I went to court, my boy was there. Eric was there, like, transcribing. You know what I'm saying? And like, we got in a little trouble because I was like,
oh yeah, I can't blow kisses and type at the same time.
Yeah, no.
Goodness.
Yeah. Then I asked for everything to be stricken from the record, and that's why I have to do community service. So here is this is for the community. This is giving back. This is your boy Jono. You know what I'm saying? He wrote us last week. We said Jono likes to send that content, that big stuff. We ain't scared of that. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes we gotta make way. You know what I'm saying? And this email segment is all about Jono. You know what I'm saying? Love it.
Okay.
So, Jono had sent us an email previously about collecting figures and kind of the reason people do. It sparked a really, really good segment. If we were in more advanced Turtle Soup live times, we probably would have saved that for its own actual video. That's how good the content was and how good the conversation was. So this email has a little bit of kind of responses that he also asked us about music, and in this we kind of said, he was like, what do you think about the Strokes and MIA? That was like 2 things he talked about. And Eric and I are huge music fans. We just kind of talked about how the punk scene we came up in and stuff like that. We give a lot of cool answers or whatever, and so he responds to some of those. So that's basically, you know what I'm saying?
Okay,
here we go. Good evening, gents, and how the devil is it going? Apologies in advance, but this email is mainly a reply to my email from a few episodes ago. Gosh darn you guys, you gone and got me thinking again. That's what we do here.
That's what we do.
However, since this is a TMNT podcast, I thought I would ask, what are your thoughts / predictions on the Seth Rogen TMNT film coming out in a couple of years' time? I'm looking forward to it more now that I know it's going to be animated. I'm still scarred by the Bay film, so don't want to. And scared. I mean,
you're not wrong.
So don't want to see a live action TMNT until I'm the one who writes it. You know what I'm saying?
Snap.
So we're gonna cover the Seth Rogen project a little bit more in a zoomed in focus on its own video. I think
we are.
I think that's what we talked about doing.
That's on the agenda.
There's a lot of stuff in the sketch to break down and stuff. So we're gonna kind of do our own spin on that. But I mean, I'm excited as anybody. I think we've said on the show before that the idea of Seth Rogen being involved is definitely one of those things that like it's a calming thing.
It definitely is.
And I'm about it.
And Seth Rogen hasn't really done me wrong, really, in a lot of ways. Like I've been impressed by a lot of his stuff, that movie wise, and his charity work and stuff like that, and different other things I've seen him on where he's not acting, he's just being himself, which is essentially what his acting is a lot of the time. And I think it's in capable hands, and he, if I'm not mistaken, he had something to do with the Invincible cartoon, that animated series that they're doing now, and it's really good too. So then, so I think it's in good hands. So
he says, anyway, thank you for covering my email about why we collect and your trips down Toy Memory Lane. It was a great listen. By the way, Rodimus, that's my Christian name.
Yes.
So so people that knew me before I became Hollywood Ryan Guy know me as that. Are you hyped for the Super 7 Silverhawks figures? Now, I will say this: what I saw, they didn't seem to be that shiny.
You're absolutely right.
They didn't seem to be vac metal.
Right.
And while that's I have love for Silverhawks.
I do too.
I mean, what brought me to the station though was the shiny. Don't know how to be more. I feel like I'm being a bit of a culturalist slob right now, but at the same time, the shiny brought me.
Yeah, and
what I saw didn't look shiny.
No, so, no. Yeah, that was the one of the first big takeaway from it for me was that this is not like that's the thing. The vac metal was the big lure for me, and but then the other thing is, and because I'd kind of set myself up knowing that like they're probably not going to do it, or at least like to a way what I'll be like completely satisfied with to an extent. But I was like, okay, well then would I still get them? And then I started thinking about the articulation and the way that other toys have done winged figures, especially winged figures that have that they're from their ribs to their, I guess, elbows or wrists, and none of them do it very well in a way that is posable, which is not necessarily an indictment on their talent, but it's just the logistics of it. It doesn't. There's not a lot of if you can do it and do it right, it probably costs a lot.
The engineering behind the
the engineering, it's probably to get it done right. It probably costs way more than we're willing to pay per figure, and so that's kind of soured me on them. So the pre-orders have just gone up, so I'm waiting to see. But like I'm tempted, yes, because I loved Silverhawks, but yeah, I'm right there with you.
It says I don't know if Silverhawks ever came to the UK. But if they did, they flew under my radar. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what's up. Oh God, I lost my place.
Oh, did you lose your email? Goodness.
Here we go.
Okay, all right.
I love hearing your thoughts on the Strokes and MIA, especially saying that you came from the punk scene and that had a mentality of bands becoming big and being seen as sellouts, etc. I was very elitist. Some would say opinionated in my musical opinions years ago. I remember having mass arguments with people about how the music they liked was shit, and it makes me laugh to think about it now, partly because a bit of me still feels like that. That's pretty much my story.
Yeah.
Like, I have this cover story now that's like, I'm grown up, Ryan. So I'm like, nah, man. Hey, look, dude. If you are, man, if you love I'm gonna pick on Creed. I'll be like, look, you're like the biggest Sublime fan in the world. That's cool, dude. I love that. Then inside my head, I'm like, yeah, but I mean, like, is that your favorite band? Because I don't know. You know what I mean? And
right.
And I don't mind if other people are that pretentious against me. I understand like things I love. People are like, okay, so you based your life on Nirvana.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Didn't they have like 0.2 records? That's crazy. So I it goes both ways, but I kind of feel the same way secretly. I'm like, yeah, but I still secretly hate everything.
But I think the maturity in that is knowing that you're just as petty as other people can be about that as well. Like you're So
yes. You're like, they probably also think that what I like sucks, but
absolutely,
like, I'm okay with all that. I grew up in the north of England. This is where I'm going to do my audiobook.
Okay.
Are you ready
right.
for the audiobook part?
Let me get settled in. All right, I'm I'm nestled.
I gotta admit, I'm gonna take just a bit of a coffee break, and I'm gonna say that I kind of love wearing sunglasses on the show at this point because I don't have to worry about where I'm looking.
Oh, that is true.
I always look like I'm addressing the camera.
It does.
The best thing in the world. Like you don't see my eyes, like because granted, I mean, Turtletarians got me and Eric set up with some monitors.
Definitely.
I got monitors now.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice. I got everything. Damn command center. I love it. But I got a lot of places to look, and a lot of times I spend half the show like this, like looking at like something or whatever, and so I always feel self-conscious. But now, I mean, I'm starting to see why people wear the shades all the time. You just look like you're just available.
Mr. Mingle. Was it Corey Hart or Mr. that wear their sunglasses at night? I forget which one, but yeah, that's where you're at right now. But I'm one monitor away from being a supervillain. So yeah, but that's thanks to the Turtletarians.
I'm getting close.
Yeah,
I'm getting close. All I need is a new video card because I technically have 3.
Oh
my video card can only support 2.
Yeah.
The minute I get one that can support a third monitor, get out of here, boys. You get cranking here. You know what I'm saying? Tech me up. All right, here's the audio portion. I grew up in the north of England, and it was a ripe age for Oasis. I went to see them in about 94, 95, just before they became the biggest band in the world. And I went from being one of only 2 people in my school who had seen them live to all the girls in school knowing the words to Wonderwall, which, as you know, if girls are into the bands you like, it's game over. I didn't turn my back on Oasis, though. I just had to write out their popular years and go back to being in the minority of people who liked them because they basically went shit from the year 2000 to 2009.
That's fair.
So my question, instead of turning your back on a band once they've gotten big, etc., are there any bands you have stuck with through their popular /shit/ experimental phases, etc.? Are there bands you're just so loyal to they can do no wrong? What do you think about that? I feel like that was pretty good.
That was good. I think you might have gotten too excited at the end, but at the beginning, you're like when you started, that was gold. Like that was really good.
Do you think my momentum was too high on the back end?
I think you got excited about thinking about the answer to the question, and I think that's what kind of got you. But the start
normally books don't ask you questions you think of right away.
That's true.
Normally
they end with periods.
Questions to haunt you at night.
That's true. Those are scary books that do that. But yeah, no, I think you have a career in that. Yeah.
Hey,
so you can go that route. Live that truth.
I won't forget you.
Yeah, I hope not, because I'll see you every Thursday still. Because I need you. So hopefully, but
yeah.
Okay, so
to redo it, yeah. Are there any bands that you stuck with through their popular and experimental and like crappy phases? Are there bands who are you're just so loyal to they can do no wrong? I've got one.
Okay, go for it.
Deftones. Deftones. I love Deftones like another part of me. They release records that I don't think are very good.
Yeah.
Lately, I still love Deftones.
Yeah.
For the longest time, they were one of the only bands I loved that I thought didn't ever have a bad record. Like they were just like every record for their first 5 records are all perfect, and I'm like, I love this record. They started getting, like after Chi died. I mean that was its own thing. Started branching out, and I get it, man. Like it's hard to just be Deftones all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like I get it. You want to branch out, but I still love Deftones, and I would defend a record I'd never heard of theirs. And I'd be like, "So the new Deftones is shit," and I'd be like, "Well, I can say that. You can't say that."
Yeah.
Let's talk about Deftones.
Right.
That's how I am with them. I love them to death.
Okay. I'm trying to think because.
How about you? So I'm thinking what Gary Glitter is a big one for you. Do no wrong, even after you touch those kids.
That's true. That usually, yeah, that's tough. Yeah, no. As far as popular artists, the only
Bowling for Soup was a big one.
Oh my goodness!
You can't let that go.
God no.
Skillet.
No, I'm still there. The
Skillet.
The tattoo. The tattoo right above my ass crack.
I'll stop messing with you.
No, it's okay.
Shit.
So yeah, it's just a tattoo of a skillet, like an actual skillet. But I tell them it's for the band. Yeah, no, the closest thing I could think of, and you might be able to come up with something other, or as I'm talking, but as far as a popular band, I remember liking Paramore before they got radio big and blew up. So like when their first record with the couch on it, All We Know Is Falling, I think is what it's called. When that was out, I liked that a lot. And then before Riot hit the radio, like that had, before it blew up, I liked that record a ton. I was with you. I think I bought that record on vinyl, and then I got Iron and Wine's Our Endless Numbered Days in the same trip. And I remember getting that. And then their third record, Brand New Eyes, came out, and I was like, okay, that's okay. That's cool. But then after that, I think it was when the guitarist, Josh Farrow, I think was his name.
Yeah.
He left, and I think his brother did too. And those,
the Farrow brothers left at once.
Yeah, and they were like, I mean, literally the backbone of the band, but also just like they were just such a big part of that band, and I just didn't really care for the record that came out after that. But then you came over to the house with that After Laughter, and you were like, hey, check this out. It's got the bass player that does some stuff with Beck, and listen to this stuff. And I was like,
forget what you know.
Yeah.
And listen to this record.
Right. And I was back, and I was like, oh, cool. I still don't really care for the record between those.
A great record.
But sequenced weird, and I don't know about some of the ending of the record, but the beginnings and most of the songs on there.
Yeah, no, great. I Paramore's After Laughter, I have an edit. Guy edit.
Okay, good. I'm glad we're on the same page.
2 songs, and I re-sequenced 2 songs.
There you go.
And the album's that's what it should have been. But
there you go. But yeah, I never I don't know. Like, there's sometimes where a band will be like, I'll get to where I'm like, I don't know what they're doing. I'm not there. I'm not ready for this yet. Like, I'm not in the right headspace for this, and I'll back off, and then I'll come back to it and be like, oh, this is great. But then there's bands where I'm like, yeah, no, I don't like what they're doing, and I'll just drop them, and I'm like, all right, that's fine. So, but it's not a lot of popular bands.
I've been
usually.
There.
So
I've been there. But I guess the main thrust of the question is, like, I loved Deftones when they were popular, right? I loved them when they didn't release an album for like 3 years, 4 years, and I still love them still, right? I think that maybe that's the thrust of the question. Like what bands have you just like stuck through? Like they were, because that's his whole Oasis story. He's like, I loved Oasis before everyone knew who they were. I loved them during Wonderwall, and that was annoying. And I just hung tight, and now I'm the only guy that likes Oasis now.
Yeah,
like I weathered the storm. You know what I mean? And yeah, I would. Deftones a big one for that.
Well, I mean, when I think about bands like that I'm just there for all the time is like Starflyer 59. Like, I'm there for like everything they do, and I'm just like, yep, I'm in it to win it with this. And that's, I don't know. There's some bands like
that investment in nothing really paid off for us, didn't it?
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know what you mean. Like,
I just mean they make really good records.
Well, they do. Yeah.
We got into it early, and
we did
really good records.
We did.
That's all I meant.
So, sorry, I didn't know if there was something else in there about violence.
I would say for you more, but I'm with it, even though you got it's not looking so hot now. Saves the Day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You were kind of with Saves the Day. Now you had a bit of a reaction to to In Reverie,
like most people did.
Like most people did. You split off a little, but I would say you didn't wind up losing the faith, though, right?
No.
You wound up liking the other stuff and like the trilogy and stuff after that, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, it was never to the fervor that their first 3 records were, but for me, but they definitely were still a mainstay and huge, and musically up until recently, but just lyrically it's just gone downhill. But hopefully now that
their last album sucks.
Yeah, music is really good.
9 is a garbage record.
Lyrics is a garbage record. Lyrics is just not. It kills everything, and that's really unfortunate. But hopefully he'll get some help with lyrics and have some actual stuff to write about and be able to make things right in some form or fashion, hopefully. And we'll see how he comes out on the other side of this. But
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna finish this one up.
All right, let's do it.
We're good. You're good there.
Oh, 100%.
All right. Yeah, he says this is the point in the email where he realizes how long it is, and he goes, "This could be a 2-parter, but we're just gonna blow through it because it's not that bad." So yeah, this got me thinking about hipster culture and how fucking annoying it is, as you know, I am the Brooklyn correspondent a lot. But when you speak to hipsters, and yes, I am making sweeping generalizations here, so I apologize. They always preach about how woke they are, how inclusive they are, and how accepting they are no matter what color, creed, ethnicity. I won't say religion because hipsters are too cool to be religious, I guess. However, if you don't listen to the right albums or watch the right Scandinavian noir series, then you are nothing but a worthless piece of shit who should be spat upon at every opportunity. Quite hypocritical, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's how I feel about hipsters. Hipsters are tough because they're like a glass of water to me as people. Like,
interesting.
When I go to talk to one, I don't know that they're hipster yet. Because let's be honest, like Eric and I are kind of like we dress like hipsters. Like I don't know, you like I guess I don't.
It's
know
hard to say what hipsters dress like anymore. It's hard to tell anymore anyway.
Well, I mean, like I guess the current bleeding edge of hipster fashion is to look like you were just fighting in the Civil War.
Yeah.
Like so I feel like we're not necessarily at that point, but like when I go to talk to somebody at a show randomly and I'm like, oh yeah, like whatever, like we start talking about stuff and they're like, yeah, and you're like, oh, so I don't know, like have you seen the band before? I saw them in L.A. once and so that's fine, you know, and you're like, oh, you're a nothing person, like you are a glass of water. Like you are nothing. That's tough for me because I'm very gregarious. I'm very like outward, and I love meeting new people, and I love like the interactions. I mean, I live off that. And when you get a glass of water, you're like, excuse me, I ordered a drink. So that can be weird. But yeah, of course. I mean, like, there's gatekeeping in everything. We actually talked about this on the Rocky Horror thing with Noah. I mean, like there's eventually everything starts as a small community and there's an understanding and everything's cool and everybody's accepting and it's great. But eventually what happens is there becomes the haves and have-nots, the leaders. There become people that vie for power, people that ruin it, people that come later and don't understand what the original whole thing was and what it was based on, and they subvert it.
Oh yeah,
and you have gatekeepers, and that's what happens in literally. I mean. Well, Eric, you're gonna love me. This is another reason you should hire me. I'm gonna wrap this right back to the TMNT. This happens in nerd culture, comic book culture, and it's in TMNT fanhood. There's infighting and there's people that are shamed for writing fan fiction. There's people that shame people for not writing fan fiction. There's a lot of things that go on in the TMNT fanhood that are very similar to what occurs in hipster culture in Brooklyn with music and culture and everything like that. I mean, there are people that are like, oh, like if you ever say a bad word about the animated series, or you ever say a bad word about the first movie,
or you say a good word about the Platinum Dunes movies.
Sure.
Anything good about that.
Or you say something too bad, right?
Yeah.
Like there's all these segments, you know, of people, and you see it there, because all you gotta do is go into any, you know, well, I mean, except for our Facebook group, because our people are legit somehow.
Yeah.
I think it's that filter. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's that journey filter. But if you go to any like online TMNT community, there's gatekeepers, there's infighting, bickering about nothing, and yeah, that happens.
Yeah. My thing with hipsters is that I don't really have a good, like, I understand what John is saying. Like, I can comprehend that. But as far as like personal experience, I have a lot of people that just are inadvertently around me that don't fully understand what, we don't have the same understanding of what that term means. Like, they'll refer to Farmer Greg as a hipster, and I'm like, I don't see it, but I think it's because he vaguely dresses. I don't know. So, but then when you start talking about the gatekeeping and the things like that, then it starts to come together, and I'm like, okay, that makes a lot more sense. But the thing is that you find that almost with everything in life, it goes back to the Nolan Batman phrase where you either die the hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain, and you either die a fan and you just let it go, or you stay that fan and then you're like a jerk about it. And that's unfortunate, and I'm hoping that that we will somehow grow out of that as a culture, that we'll realize that it's not really worth it. It doesn't matter, because now that we have things like, and again, not to get too serious, but like we've talked about panic attacks and we've talked about different like things that go on mentally with like people of all ages, but like specifically for us, like you and I, like last year I was having a lot of panic attacks, and I came to the conclusion that if you can get out of a panic attack and by doing something that, like, if you want to listen to Oasis, I mean, I would never do it. But like, if it helps you get out of, it makes you feel good and this and that, then I ain't gonna shit on that. Like, do that, you know? And it's like, it's not hurting me. And as long as you're not subjecting me to Oasis, then like I have no reason to be mad. And if it brings you joy, then that's cool. And it's not hurting nobody. So like, I don't know. I kind of hope we side on that as opposed to the just everyone trying to like see who knows more, like, about whatever they're into, and then you realize that they really know nothing. And anyway, I don't know if that made any sense, but those are my thoughts.
I think you gave everybody some nice food for thought.
There you go. I like to.
So he rounds up with a list of MIA songs. I can't remember if it's MIA or Mia. I can never.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
Oh, I'm not hip enough.
We're horrible. You're not hip enough.
Yeah, his top 5 songs are Born Free, XR2, Borders, Hustle, and Bingo. You want to go get those a listen? And I will. I will. Listen, Jono.
I'm gonna write. I have a pen. I'm writing this down now, Jono. Not the list, but I'm gonna go back to just a list.
Sure.
That's what I'm.
He says he can go on a longer list, but those are some bangers. And he ends up by letting us know he used to be in a band himself called Little Nine, and he says he still wants to be in that band. Anyway, here's a song we did called Giving In to Sleep. So if you want to look up Little Nine, Giving In to Sleep, that's your boy Jono. I'll be watching that later. And he says, that's all. Apologize for the swears, but I believe they were justified. Take care, guys. Jono, I agree.
Yes. Well, thank you, Jono.
Eric won't agree with the swears.
I will not.
Someone has to be an adult. Someone has to be an adult. But that's not me right now.
That's not. You're Hollywood.
So, you heard me right before the show when we were like doing our show prep on the phone. Like my kids were like, "Hey, Dad, can you be an adult and make a decision?" And I go,
"Oh yeah,
I don't have time to do that. I'm not an adult. Wait till your mom gets out of the shower." And I just walked away.
well, and
I'm an adult. You know, I'm an adult for emergency use only right now.
Right. Well, despite the fact that you're saying you're not an adult, that was a very adult decision you just did when you told your kids that. So
that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Goodness, got him.
Yeah.
But
anyway, thanks so much, Jono. Your emails are always what's up. And in the future we may save some of this stuff because I think they could be great conversations.
Oh, absolutely.
We could have our own hot take video on TMNT community gatekeepers. Even though we don't run into that very much, and it's not a problem to us, but it's YouTube. We'll do a hot take. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And if you want to
bring it,
and if you want to,
or otherwise.
Exactly. So, email us, turtlesoup@gmail.com if you got any questions like this or anything you want to talk about, turtle related, whatever it is, let us know. We're probably going to start banking them. We're going to see which ones we get, but and then we're probably
going to put them in the Turtle Soup vault.
Oh, I like that.
We should call it the Spank Bank. Let's be
honest. We'll see. We'll put that in the hat for names.
Why are you censoring me, man? No, okay. I need to stop.
Okay. The glasses are off. Okay, Hollywood's okay. Good. I was getting a little sick of him, but I'm
gonna be dead ass though. Those sunglasses though.
Yeah.
I kind of liked it.
Yeah, but those baby browns though, or baby greens. What are they?
My eyes are green, man.
Well, I know, but you said they were brown. They look
brown
from here
on the show.
Yeah, they do.
It's weird as hell. It's almost like a preview of seeing what it'd be like if I had light brown eyes. my eyes are like grass green.
Yeah.
In real life, but it's just weird that they look so not green.
Mm-hmm.
For a turtle show, that's criminal.
It's criminal. It's heresy.
Speaking
do you got it? You got it? You doing it? Did you freeze? I think he froze. No, did you freeze? Oh, you had me. Dude, you had me so good. Oh, my goodness.
I didn't even mean to do it.
You straight up had me thinking,
this, man.
I had a mild freak out just then. And
40K references are my sexual orientation. I You said heresy, and I just got into this. Like, I just had this. I froze it myself.
Goodness, you scared the shit out of me. I was like, panic mode, like, oh my goodness, oh, that was amazing. That was almost the same.
Up. Yep,
that was almost the same panic mode that I was in whenever I almost caught my house on fire a few weeks ago. So, when those embers were coming out of the ceiling, I'm like, what do I do?
Eric, that night, I'm not going to joke with you. That was so utterly terrifying. That night, like right before I fell asleep.
Yeah.
I booted that in my head for a minute. Like I saw myself like with like embers falling out of my like the drywall of my ceiling, and I like had a mini panic attack for you. Even though it was already resolved. Like it was already fixed.
Right.
So I'm with you there.
Woo.
Are you ready to get
yes.
into Turtles? Are you ready to get into what's going on? We appreciate your patience. We are getting into it, baby birds.
Yes.
It is. It's alive. It's in Auckland, New Zealand. It's the year of our Lord 1990. And it is the EB. It's the EBS. It's not the emergency broadcast system.
It is not.
There's an emergency about to happen.
There is.
That's your early bird show. Now, if we have any listeners in New Zealand that know about the early bird show, I'm gonna need you to do two things. Okay. Number one. All right, and this is gonna take the most strength from you. Are you ready? I need you to take all of your pleasant, beautiful childhood memories of this show. Because I'm sure you have them. Because when we Mama Duck, it's strong. And I know that the early bird show is probably a part of you. Word. If somebody came at Rescue Rangers, like I'm about to come at early bird show later on, I would fight somebody. Rescue Rangers was my borderline sexual awakening. Okay.
Oh yeah. So
right.
What was
Ratchet?
No. What was the big dude? The big dude that was on there. What was his name?
Monty.
I was thinking Monty was going to be for you, but but it was the mousy weakling. Yes. I say weakling physically, but
something about a little mouse.
Mm-hmm.
She was so cute. She
was
in the jumpsuit, purple jumpsuit. Always working on the planes.
That's true.
Like,
yeah.
Works with her hands. It opened my eyes. There were a few cartoons that did it, but if someone came at Rescue Rangers like this, like what's about to happen in the next hour or so, I'd be offended. I'm gonna need you to really buckle those things up, my little Kiwis, because we don't mean to offend you.
Oh yeah, no, by no means.
But from the outside looking in, guys, this is some crazy shit.
Yeah, this is insane.
So that's the first thing. Buckle up. 2, I need you to email the show, and I need you to tell me more about what happened. I need you to tell me more about was this the thing that was common? Mike Hatfield, I'm calling you out. Did this spread to Australia? Was this also an Australian thing, or is this just New Zealand? Obviously, the EBS show itself seems like it's very New Zealandish. But if you watch this, Mike, and you go, "Oh no, they had one of these in Australia too," I need you to let me know.
Yeah, we definitely need to know.
I need to know more about what this was, because this is a very strong dose of something that was its own damn thing that I know nothing about.
Yep, absolutely.
And that's just from a man. You know what I'm saying? That being said, Eric, do you want to start us out?
I do, Ryan. And so I want to start us out the way that this video starts us out. Now, before we get into it, if you're listening or on the podcast or however you're hearing it, if you go to YouTube, you can find the link to this video. And if you want to watch beforehand, feel free to go ahead and do that. It's in either the trailer or it'll be in this actual episode video. And you can do that. I forget who posted it, but it is on YouTube at the moment. But it opens up, and be prepared. It opens up on these two bird puppets that are thrusted upon us, and these will be your host for a good part of the show. And they are Russell Rooster and Auntie Kiri Kia.
To the right.
Yes. And Auntie Kiri Kia. I think it's just Key. I don't know if it's Key or Kia. I can't remember. But they proceed to list. They come on and they're just talking, and it's they say a lot of things, Ryan, that like if we were there in the audience and we were familiar with these people, we would know exactly what they're talking about. But it just sounds like nonsense to people who have
They're
no
name dropping
context.
a ton of people that those New Zealand kids probably knew all about.
Right.
I knew nothing of
yeah.
what they were saying, but they're backstage. That's the whole premise. They're backstage kind of before the show starts, and
Right.
they are just hyping up the show, hyping up these people.
Right. And I will
going to be on this show at some point.
Right. And I will give credit where credit's due. They look good. The costumes look good, or the puppets look good, or whatever. And the at least the lady that's doing, or the person that's doing Auntie Kiri is, I thought she was doing really good. The rooster kind of annoyed me, but something about, like, I don't know, and it could be the accent. That could be that kind of won me over, because it doesn't take a lot to win Americans over with accents. Like it's not that difficult, but still, nevertheless, it's a lot to take in at first. And then we get the intro song to start the show, and we are then shown a litany of, or I don't even know if that's the right word, a smorgasbord, a myriad, if you will, of pictures of kids and all kinds of crazy stuff that you would see. And essentially what this is, Ryan, is that it is the intro to the early morning children's programming block that is known as the Early Bird Show. And yeah, that thing ran from 1985 to 1992 in various forms, according to the internet. And essentially, you weren't far off when you were talking about the Disney, with Rescue Rangers and stuff, because essentially this is a version of our Disney afternoon, but in the morning and with puppet hosts instead of, like, we had a guy named David D on Fox, didn't we? Did you remember that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
I don't remember, and he seemed pretty legit. I don't think anything weird came out about him, but he might have had a puppet or two, but it wasn't like a main feature of the show, if I'm not mistaken. But did any of the other ones that you recall? Like, that's the only one that I could think of that had like a host for the block of television that was kids TV.
I mean, that was pretty much it. Yeah.
I mean, it's
to
not
my memory.
Yeah, it's not like a foreign concept to me necessarily, so that must mean that I have some experience with it in some regard, but nothing else sticks out like David D did. Anyway, so yeah, this, again, like I said, this features a whole bunch of random images of, like, this dude in a truck drinking coffee and all this stuff. But my favorite thing is that it eventually shows what looks like Frodo Baggins eating breakfast with two elder hobbits, and I don't fully understand, like, are those actual old people? Are those kids dressed as old people? Like,
I don't know, but I can tell you that when you said that the Early Bird Show ran from 1985 to 1992, I think that was entirely this intro sequence.
Oh, yeah, just because of how long it was.
That ran for 7 years.
Yeah, just that,
and then the show started.
Yeah, so. Anyway, because it felt like it was a long time. Like, they even played it all the way through and then played it again. So,
correct.
Yeah. So at this point, we're like, all right, what are we doing? We get more puppets, and it's the ones we were introduced to already. So we open up on a stage show where the scene is Auntie Kiri and Russell Rooster in a weird setting that has like a desk, a filing cabinet, lockers, and they comment on how people are about to burst, Ryan, to meet the turtles, which I think we can both agree that we've been there. We've felt like we were about to burst when we were about to meet.
I've been fit to split.
Fit to split.
I've been fit to split trying to see the turtles.
Right.
Yeah, their set is like a little corner of a set thing, and it does look like they have a desk. They almost look like Fox Mulder, how he has a desk in the basement, and there's also,
definitely,
like, old filing cabinets and shit. Like, those aren't his filing cabinets, really. Not all of them. Like,
no.
He has like 2 filing cabinets. The rest of it's like, this is where we put all the stupid shit.
Right.
That is what their set looks like. It's literally like there's like a desk of drawers and then like an actual set of lockers. I don't know where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
But that is like they're down somewhere.
Right. And so anyway, they start talking about how like they're going to count to 3, and they do it in a language called Maori. I think I'm pronouncing it right. It's Maori. and that happens to be the indigenous language of New Zealand. And they get all the kids, once they do that a few times, they get all the kids to shout Raphael. And nothing happens, Ryan. Nothing. Like, so they do it a few times. They do it like 15 times. And then they get Auntie Kirikia, she gets a bright idea. She's like, I have an idea. Why don't we say pizza? And so all the kids do it 15 times, and Raphael appears out of nowhere. And so here we go. What do you think about this Raphael costume, Ryan?
He looks like a Raphael birthday candle.
Oh my goodness, he totally does. I didn't think about that, but you were absolutely right.
And you'd be like, sweet. And if you don't think that's on the money, I would then go on to say he looks like a Raphael shampoo bottle.
Oh, that's a really good one too. Yeah. Okay.
He was made from either plastic or wax and was meant to be used and then destroyed. Or in the case of a candle, destroyed while being used.
Yeah, at the same time.
These are from what I understand, previously unseen turtle outfits. This is an official, by the way, this is before a live audience of kids. Over apparently like could have been up in the 2,000 kid numbers. There are a ton of kids in there.
Oh yeah.
But these outfits have never been seen before, to my knowledge. These are not, but this isn't officially Mirage licensed Turtles production and appearance.
Yes.
I believe because we're in the New Zealand times, I feel like these were made on site. These were made locally in New Zealand. These were crafted because I don't think that anybody was interested in shipping actual assets to New Zealand.
No.
That had been used, for example, coming out of their shells, or even the outfits you saw in like Metro Blue Line and stuff like that. Like, I don't think there was anybody going to be shipping anything over New Zealand. I think that these were like, you can do it if you make it yourself.
Yeah.
And that's what every one of these things looks like. It looks like it was made out of a whole cloth in New Zealand to happen.
Now,
everybody looks like a birthday candle.
They do. Now, that being said, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. It kind of does have, it looks like Raphael. It definitely looks like a Ninja Turtle. Like they got in the ballpark. I wouldn't be surprised to see this like in Times Square, like with all the fake Elmos and like all the other fake superheroes that are out there. I wouldn't be surprised to see him out there. But more specifically, one of the things that it irks the shit out of me is that he has the cross straps on his belt that goes over his chest, like Leonardo the action figure did. He should not. His weapons do not warrant that kind of extra.
Donnie's got one cross strap. Leo's got two. Raph and Mikey have none. That is
precisely.
How that works.
That's how God intended it. So, but here I believe they all four have it. So, spoiler alert. So, the other thing is that he has pupils, very vivid, like obvious pupils, and I generally don't like my turtles with pupils. I feel like it just does something. Now it looks okay here, but at the same time, the pupils thing just like, I don't know. Like, I like the way the 2012 cartoon did it, and I understand that the original animated series had it for whatever reason, but it's like the blue line stuff, they didn't have pupils. They were just the whites, like the Batman the animated series stuff. And I don't know, something about that but I guess pupils do kind of make it a little bit more like, that humanizes it a little bit, but I don't know. But maybe I'm just nitpicking and being, pretentious about this stuff.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
So you are dead ass right. You are absolutely right that they do look like the turtle candles. Like, and I had the turtle candles. I still have Shredder somewhere around here.
Same.
Yeah.
Oh, you do so. Sure, he's in rough shape. But he's literally burned up like a dead piece of doornail. Dingle piece of toast. But yeah, man,
Yeah.
I mean, I got they got their thing going on. They're trying real hard, man. Like they're gonna have the turtles in New Zealand.
They are, and
it is something else.
And I'm gonna backtrack a little bit because this picture I just pulled up on the screen, it's one of the more well lighted shots of them, and then you start to realize why we were talking about earlier why it's so dark, because the darkness hides a lot of imperfections, and so this one looks kind of rough. Anyway, Raphael comes out on the stage, and they teach him how to say hello in Maori, and apologies if I'm mispronouncing that, but the way you say it, Ryan, is kia ora. I think kia ora.
Kia ora.
Yeah, that's hello in.
Say it with us, Turtletarians. Kia
ora.
ora.
Yeah, good job. And so, sorry, I was reminiscing about that. Just like made me think about my wife when she was doing the ESL for Chinese students.
Yeah, teaching.
Yeah, and she'd have to do like all the just overly animate yourself. Anyway, well, that's pretty much what Raphael's doing here with these kids. And so I thought that was pretty neat though that they kind of engaged with the audience that way. And so Raphael he proceeds to then yell at the kids in the audience, like just yelling Kia ora over and over again. So he goes to leave and teach this to the other guys, but is stopped by Russell Rooster, who asks a whole just god-awful amount of questions. He asks,
"Oh yeah, no, this was Raph being like, cool. I'm gonna get back to my sandwich."
Mm-hmm.
And Russell, hey, hold on a minute. Can I ask you a quick 50 questions? That's basically what it is. And Raph has this attitude like, "Yeah, man, I guess, dude.
All right,
I had a thing over there. I don't know what I don't understand."
Sure, we'll answer these. So do you want me to ask the question? You can answer it, or do you just want me to run through them?
Ask the question.
Okay. So I'm asking. So I'm Russell Rooster, but I can't do the impression. What have you been doing?
You gotta try.
What? It's gonna be a horrible English accent. Like
what was that?
Yeah. So that's what it's.
Okay, maybe don't.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad. What have you been doing? I can't do it because it feels so wrong.
Sure.
Goodness, I'm not as good as you, man. I'm not as good as you.
No, you don't have to do it, dude. I just told you a minute ago. I heard 1 minute of that Kiwi. I was like, no, you good.
Okay,
just do it.
What have you been doing in New Zealand?
Checking out your sewers. You could say I've been down under in the down under with your mom. You should have said that.
Yeah,
that'd been amazing.
So
and then he winds up compliments the sewers like the turtles do everywhere.
Yeah,
where they go,
everywhere.
They go, your sewers are awesome.
Which is kind of really nice of them, I guess. They didn't have to do that, but who knows?
No.
We didn't see the surge licensing contract, so that might be in the contract for them to be down under.
It might be.
Yeah. Then Russell continues. He goes, what have you been doing in your leisure time?
Break dancing and reading. That's what I've read.
What's your favorite story?
Tortoise in the hair. I win.
Because I win.
Next.
So then Raphael then asked the kids if they like reading, which they all yell, hell yeah. But I feel like if I was over there, the answer would be no. I don't know. I felt like if it was over here, like if you asked the kids over here if they liked reading,
it's gonna be like, what?
Yeah, like what's that? Unless I get a personal pan pizza, then no, I don't like reading. But
they'd be like, you gonna make any more educational movies?
Right?
You gonna sing any more educational movies?
That's what that was. That's what that was.
No, because we cover what happens on Oprah. You know what an American kid do? Be like, yeah, I heard your record. Oh, do I like it?
Yeah. No. Do you dig it? No. Hey, I got your book. Did you read it? Yeah.
Hey,
did you dig it?
Yeah.
No. Didn't dig it. Goodness, that Oprah interview was rough. Like they goodness, it put them in their place, put them back in their shell. But anyway, Raphael continues to say that reading gives you power against ignorance and the forces of evil. And that is the statement
I
that
gotta say that's a goddamn truth. I gotta say that's the goddamn truth. Here's the thing: you just gotta watch out what you read.
That's true, but Turtle Soup will stand behind that statement, and it's got the Turtle Soup seal of approval. Russell Rooster then asks, like Shredder, insinuating that Shredder's evil.
Like Shredder.
Do you think
I can't do it very good either, but I try.
Yeah, but you're just better than me at a lot of things. So, like Shredder, do you think he followed you here? Like, so insinuating that Shredder is ignorant and evil, and do you think he followed you here? Raph just paces and says, I really hate people named, like he's pacing like he's mad. And he goes, I really hate people named after kitchen utensils. And so, yeah, I don't know. I guess he knows a lot of other people named after kitchen utensils.
Yeah. Well, first of all, he knows about Spoon Man.
Spoon Man.
You know, because your boy Soundgarden was like, Spoon Man. And he's like, I hate that guy. You know?
Yeah.
And then there was then there was Fork Face.
Oh, Fork Face. Goodness. Yeah, who could forget Fork Face?
Hate his ass.
Yeah. And then
there was
and Butterface was too.
It's true. There was the little
Sorry.
Oh God, I almost had a good one. I was like, there was there was that little known indie label called Major Ladle.
So good.
They gave out Major Ladle deals.
Oh my goodness, that's excellent. So Raphael apparently has a lot of those people that he just hates, and he says hates, like he just hates them, which is a strong word.
Yeah, he hates them.
But he's a strong turtle, and he's showing it off here on the screen. So Raph tells us that Shredder is indeed in New Zealand, and to let them know if they see him. Raphael instructs the kids to shout, "Turtle Power!" Just like that.
Went for that. Nice.
I did. I felt like I let you down on the accent. I had to bring it,
Well, you may have just called the turtles. Don't worry, they'll just creep out and dance for a while.
We're used to that anyway. If they see Shredder, they're supposed to yell "Turtle Power," and so he then gets everyone in the audience, presumably, to shout "Turtle Power" 3 times, and then all of a sudden, Ryan, the rest of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles appear.
This is when you hover your mouse over YouTube and you're like, how long is this?
How long is this?
It goes, it's been 5 minutes. And you're like, okay. And
yeah.
Like, how many more minutes I got left?
Mm-hmm.
And YouTube tells you 45.
Right.
And you just go.
Yep, this is my life. This is what I'm doing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, there's a couple of things coming up. It redeems itself a little bit, but not much. But nevertheless, we have all 4 of the exact identical turtles, except their belts are changed with their correct initials. The colors of their bandanas are correct. And Ryan, they have their weapons, which is a huge thing for them, because that's one of the things around this time where they were like, no weapons. We ain't doing the weapon thing. And so that was pretty neat. It appears that I said that already. They're wearing the same suit. So anyway, at this point, we have Auntie Kiriki, who is completely flustered by seeing all 4 TMNT and their muscles and weapons, and she says that she needs a drink, Ryan. Well, she seems like she's thirsty and needs to be quenched. So, the stage then goes dark, and smoke fills the stage. And I'm sorry, I jumped ahead. Raphael asks, they're talking about a drink. So she's talking about a drink, and Raphael says, I could use some food. And Raphael asks for a jelly bean and mushroom pizza, which doesn't sound like the worst thing. I mean, it's probably not, it's a little bit sweet and savory, I guess, but nothing you really.
You're just half in because if you somehow became a mushroom, you'd eat yourself. Like
Absolutely.
That's the only reason that you're half into this pizza.
Absolutely.
Because it says mushroom. So
then Raphael asks the kids if they like to party. And then Raph says something that, Ryan, one day we're going to hear, hopefully right before we die. and he yells to the DJ, "Spin that wheel." And if that's the last thing,
I was like,
if any of the Turtletarians are around when either one of us die, like if we die on the show or whatever, and like if you see somebody coming up with a knife, like my wife's gonna kill me or whatever, just yell, "Hey, spin that wheel," and I'll like hear it somehow.
Yeah.
And then
that would be good.
Yeah, and I'll die happy. So Raphael does this. The stage now goes dark, Ryan. Darker than it was before. Smoke fills the stage. We hear "Spin that wheel," and we see a very small screen playing the intro to the 1987 animated series of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Mm-hmm. The 4 turtles come out and dance on stage in the dark, and then the turtles exit, and the foot soldiers come out. Foot ninjas, Ryan. They come out and they do flips, which we know from watching the behind-the-scenes documentary on the first and second movie 1 and 2. Real fighting is all about flips, and so they come out and they do a lot of flips. So then let's see, where are we? The turtles come back out, and they have their weapons yet again, and they decide to dance with their weapons, and it's a whole thing. And you're watching this like, as a kid, I'd probably dig the hell out of this. Like, it's just dark. It's just dark enough. They're playing like Spin That Wheel, and you're watching ninjas fight ninjas. Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't like this? Watching it as an adult on a poorly like filmed stage show, it's not quite as enjoyable as you'd like to believe. So yeah. So then this happens for a very long time. Lots of stuff keeps happening,
we're gonna spare you a little of your time and let you know this is what this whole show is.
Yeah, there's a lot of this.
There are interludes of dialogue. We'll talk about those. They're legit. There's 2 very funny sons of bitches about to show up that are probably my favorite characters in the entire thing because they basically don't give a shit. They're like these little kids and they don't care. And they're great. This is a large. I would wager to say that about this thing runs 50 minutes full. It is 50 minutes solid too.
Yeah.
The hard 50, if you will.
Oh.
I would say that at least 35 to 40 minutes of it is people dancing on stage in the borderline pitch black to music.
Mm-hmm.
With no dialogue or any kind of diagex. This is not like a getting down in your town coots thing where they have a plot line really or anything like that.
No,
it's a very vague like the Shredder and friends. We'll talk about some buddies that show up in a minute. Not spoiler alert you. They show up and if get serious and they need to fight, and that is so it follows this cycle the whole time.
It does, and so it's. There's a lot of weird stuff to be seen. Like occasionally you'll get some like clear images of the turtles and stuff, and you're like, this is bizarre as hell. But again, I think it's very neat to see live action turtles, regardless of the quality, using weapons, which their weapons don't look terrible. They
no.
I mean, they don't look like necessarily like cardboard, but
no.
So they all this fighting happens, like you said, playing music and showing clips from the animated series and movie 1. And then we get to what I referred to as Act 2, Ryan. And this is where we get introduced to a different puppet, different bird puppet, who I believe is named Lisa, if I'm not mistaken.
That is Lisa.
Yeah, so we now see this bird puppet who is commenting on how the turtles have made them appreciate good pizza. She apparently had the pizza that they ordered for Raphael but can't find it, which was the jelly bean and mushroom pizza. She asked the audience if they have seen it, and they responded with nonsense, and she takes that as a no. Then she suspects that it was those quack bags, which are who I think you were in reference to earlier, and
that's who I'm referencing.
All of a sudden, these other 2 puppets show up, and they're two rubber ducky puppets who just appear out of nowhere. They ask Lisa, well, real quick, one has eye goggles on, like swimming goggles.
Yeah.
And then the other one has the one that's like the
scuba,
full
like diving goggles.
Yeah, yes. Goggles. And the scuba or the snorkel.
Like a snorkel set.
Yeah, which I don't think ducks necessarily need, but it is kind of funny to see them wearing it. So
ducks
they
absolutely need those things. Eric, stop. Wait a minute. Ducks need those. They live without them, but ducks could most certainly use a pair of swimmer's goggles if they want to go under the water and see better.
Okay.
And they can't breathe underwater. Snorkel would really be helpful.
Okay, you have a very loud point. Because I was thinking about all the ducks that I know: Howard, Daffy, Donald, Daisy, Drake Mallard. Ace. Remember him? Oh, Ace Duck. Oh yeah, Ace Duck. Yeah. So, but I've never seen them really with goggles, and so, but now I think that it makes a lot of sense that they could totally use them. They just live without them.
They could use them. You know, they're not necessary to being a duck, obviously, but I mean, they don't seem like they would hurt.
That's true. So if you know a duck, you might want to consider giving them some of this stuff for Christmas or whatever birthdays, whatever holiday you feel like celebrating. And so they might take, that might be one of those things that they're keeping in their heart of hearts, but they're just not saying out loud. Like might be like a faux pas kind of thing. And
you speak their love language.
Precisely. And that's it. So, So these duck puppets are out here and they're the comedy relief. They ask Lisa if they've seen their soggy bread, which
what ducks eat, man.
That's what ducks eat. They keep laughing about it as if it's an inside joke, and I couldn't put my finger on it. Part of me thought that they were referring to pizza because they didn't know what pizza was, so they were referring to that as soggy bread. But then I'm like, no, and then part of it also felt like they were making like an adult joke that for this they're winking at the adults the whole time, but the kids don't know. There was something that they were.
I don't think that was the intent at all.
Well, I'm just saying that there's something that they're alluding to that I don't have a clue. Like that, it might be a cultural thing too. Yeah. I'm not saying it's dirty necessarily.
I didn't see the illusion as much as I saw. They are just generally, to me, they're just generally like kind of like silly characters. Like they laugh about everything. Like the whole time they're laughing. Like they're kind of my lifeline in this because they're the only people who seem to realize how ridiculous everything is right now.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something about your boys, the Quacks.
Yes.
They don't give a shit.
They don't.
The Quacks do not care at all about anything. The Quacks are pure idgaff YOLO. Like run it. Like and they're kind of my lifeline. So I'd appreciate if you took the innuendo out of their mouths. You know
I wasn't insinuating that they have an innuendo necessarily. I was just saying that they are up to something that just didn't seem like they were letting everyone know about. However, they do not give a shit, and they are agents of chaos in this. And so anyway, Lisa says that she hasn't seen their soggy bread and asks if they've seen the shredder. They say no. But Lisa suggests that the shredder might be the culprit behind the stolen food. The Quacks say that they want to meet the shredder face to face and tell him where to get off, Ryan. They say where to get off. Yeah.
They talk a game.
They do.
Those Quacks don't give a shit.
They do not.
I love it.
And so
I love it.
So where did I lost my place? Oh goodness. Okay, yeah. So they take off after they make a bunch of jokes about like presumably places where he could get off on public transportation.
Literally where he can get off. Yes.
Yeah.
Like the different cities he can get off in.
Pretty right. Great. And so the stage then goes dark as movie 1 music plays, and Shredder appears. Now, Ryan, what do you think about this Shredder? What you got on this guy?
Is it too samey to say he's birthday candle Shredder? They did a pretty good job. The thing I don't necessarily like about this Shredder, just to me, when you see him in I mean the very little light that they give you.
Yes.
The back of his head, like the back of the armor helmet thing, is like made out of like this weird gray plastic.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is like reflective and shiny, kind of like vac metal. So I
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They don't do a half bad job, but once again, it just looks like somebody who was handy with foam and tools kind of made a shredder.
Right.
Not bad.
Right.
I wouldn't call it like completely great, but
no,
it's there.
No. But it does the job. It gets the gets the point across.
Yeah.
I mean,
if your friend did this on their own, if your friend bust out with like, dude, I made a shredder, you'd be like,
right.
oh, dude, that's badass. Like,
oh yeah.
But for an official appearance, you're a little
it's a little underwhelming.
It's all right.
So
I won't give him the full like birthday candle. I won't go down that far on him. He's a little bit better.
He's a little bit better. That's fair. He at least doesn't look like he's melting at any. Well, his helmet might, but they had to make the helmet big enough so kids in the back can see him, I assume. So
of course.
Right. So he then exits and is followed by the turtles, who presumably are coming out to the kids yelling "Turtle Power," So then we see Russell Rooster and Auntie Kiri Key, who come out still in shadow, but appear to have their puppeteers like completely visible behind them, like holding them like on like a pillow or something. And they bring with them two full like Big Bird style costumed puppets or Muppets, I guess. I don't know.
There's a total of 3. I checked.
Yes, once Russell and Kiri leave, there are 3.
Okay, there's 3.
Yeah, there are 3. Gotcha. So sorry, it's so dark you never know.
Honestly, guys, it's incredibly dark. Like like what you're seeing on the screen right now is honestly like more light on a character than you normally see. The reason you see this much light on these characters now is because they are at the front of the stage. If they go back there, they're half as lit.
Oh, absolutely. Easily. And so, this is one of the things that just didn't make any sense to me. And I'm sure that if you knew what the show was about or doing, or like what their deal was, that this makes perfect sense. But having no context for this whatsoever, the Kiri and Russell come out. They introduce this group that is apparently called I gotta find my place. There it is. Don and Chorus. That is the name of this group. This 3 puppet group.
Yes.
They have a presumably female body bird puppet looking character who comes out and sings about a toxic relationship with someone named Johnny. The lyrics are Johnny Lee. You love the music, but I think it's actually Johnny Lee with your raven eyes. This is from memory. Your raven eyes and
something
your
like
ripped up jeans. Johnny Lee.
You ripped up jeans. Oh, Johnny Lee.
You love the music, but you don't love me. Now, that kind of got me a little bit because I thought that was kind of catchy and stuff. But I'm thinking this is a kid's.
That chorus transition's good.
Yeah, like
all that stuff.
Yeah.
When I text you and I said, and pardon my French, I first said, "What the Jesus fuck is this?" That was my literal first words about this whole thing.
Goodness. Yeah.
Then I said, "We need to cover Johnny Lee."
Yeah.
I said that.
You did. You definitely did. And I don't disagree.
I'm gonna pull the curtain back for y'all. I was like, "What am I watching?"
Mm-hmm.
Then I was like, "But we need to cover Johnny Lee."
Yeah.
Because that chorus is hot.
It is so good. And so yeah, I don't really know. I tried to look up some information about it, but I couldn't find that song necessarily with a real quick Google search. But nevertheless, we get a picture, an image of this thing doing something with an instrument, and it looks badass. Like I was pretty hyped about this. Like, if you told me that we were going to go to a show, if our buddy Gabe was like, "Hey, let's go to a show. Let's go see this guy's band. Like this thing that's on the screen right now. Let's go see this dude's band play." I would be there.
Yeah.
100%. Like front of the stage.
Gabe rolls up on you Gabe rolls up on you while you're visiting your grandmother and goes, "What's up, bitches?" And you're like, "Whoa." And he goes, "We're going to a show." And you're like, "Yes, I am."
Right. And then for some reason he charmed
Cause that's what you say.
And he charms your grandma into going too.
Oh,
yeah. Absolutely.
And your grandma loves him more than you.
Oh, 100%. And by the time you get back from the show, all of your pictures are replaced with Gabe's pictures. Yeah. So thanks, Grandma. But
really fast. I have really fast. This moment in the show where they just brought on this like other band, and they're like, "This is Dawn and Chorus." I'm like, "Excuse me."
Yeah.
And then Johnny Lee starts up. Reminded me, and I want you guys to know because I've talked about this on the show before, but I feel like we need to re-up y'all. Because I want you all to go experience it and love this like I do. There is an album called Discotheques and the Sexolettes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is a manufactured disco group created by a brilliant shock jock from New York in the early 70s named Monty Rock III. Okay. He got a band together. He was just a personality on the radio. That's all he was. He can't sing. You'll hear it. He can't sing. But he got enough freaking people together because the guy just knew people.
Yeah.
And he made what is the greatest fake disco live record ever made. It's just called Discotheques and the Sexolettes. You'll know it when you see it.
Yeah.
It's got your boy Discotheques on the front with like the Technicolor Dreamcoat on. And like a huge like pimp cane, and it's all the cover's just amazing. It's all like drawn. It's hand drawn. It's beautiful. In that record, I love it because it's a fake live album. It was recorded just in a studio, but they added crap.
Yeah,
your boy never stops. He is Hype City the whole time. And inside the record, they have it's a review. It's the Discotheques and the Sexolettes review, and there are several bands that play.
Oh, that's amazing. I didn't know that.
There's like White Cherry is one of them. And yeah, like there's a few bands that play in there that they like hand the stage over to. It is a banging record. It was featured on The Simpsons at one point.
Was it really? I didn't know that.
Get Dancin'. Yeah. Dude, Get Dancin' was like number 10 in the USA when that record came out.
Really?
I have a Wikipedia article up. I'm not.
Oh, I thought that was from the hip.
About Discotheques. I'm not a genius. I do know that it had stuff like the song goes around. Get Dancing's the big one. And I Want to Dance with You, Do That Dance. You know what I'm saying?
Do That Dance. Yeah.
Those are the songs. But yeah, that Get Dancing appears in the Simpsons episodes Bart versus Thanksgiving and I'm Going to Praiseland.
Oh, okay.
Anyways. Do yourself a favor and go look up your boy Discotheques and the Sexolettes, because that's what this felt like. This felt like we're doing a thing, and we got Spin That Wheel, and then they just bring on this other band. And I was like, this feels so much like Discotheques right now.
Yeah,
go check it out. You'll think yourself.
Well,
you'll thank yourself.
You'll thank yourself. Go thank yourself. There you go. So you won't thank yourself after watching this, though, unless you skip to the very end, which is pretty much what we should have done. But you know what? Yeah. So anyway, you could just watch this episode, and that's pretty much more entertaining than watching the actual thing. So after this monstrosity, Nightmare just does whatever the hell it does that looks cool as hell right here, but is still terrifying. We get Lisa and the two ducks back, and they decide that they want to make their own gang like the Turtles, and the other so Lisa is there and she wants to join their gang. She is shunned and then reminds everyone what to say if they see the Shredder. So that's just real quick, there's that, and the stage goes black again. This is where it gets even darker. So the back screen shows Splinter from the cartoon, from the 1987 animated series. We then get a horde of children in white gi practicing their moves, and other people with flags are just running around doing the thing. And then, Ryan, this is where I got a little scared. This thing showed up, and didn't know at first, but then upon closer inspection, it looks like a rat-faced dude guy we affectionately call that, but is commonly known as Splinter.
Yes.
He is It looks like he's just wearing a black hood and he's got just like his nose is coming out, right? Like it does not look like that's a full costume.
This guy's coming at you on some Aleister Crowley shit right now. That guy's coming to you like Dark Lord.
Oh yeah.
Like he's like, these children are my minions.
Oh yeah.
That's what's happening. It's
terrifying. And so it plays audio from movie 1 detailing his origin. And then it goes on for a while. And then it transitions to the origin of the Turtles. And still playing the movie 1 audio and all that stuff, which is kind of neat. But the Turtles come out.
This is that extended remix thing that's for movie 1, where it has all the samples.
Oh yeah,
it's got like Kevin Clash doing the totally excellent, Cowabunga, like the baby turtles. It's the Turtle origin and Splinter origin story,
right?
So if you're cool to see people dance to the entire song.
Yes.
The whole song.
The whole thing. Yep.
Go ahead and watch this.
Right. So
it happens.
It does happen, and we get more horrifying things like this kid right here, as you can see. The Turtles bring out kids on stage to dance along to their origin story. And those kids leave, and slightly older kids or adults come in behind the Turtles and sort of dance even some more. Leo then ends up running out into the audience, which looks like hell. Just dead ass looks like hell. Like,
but besides the quack kids coming in, like, I don't care. Oh, and by the way, Lisa, you can't be in our gang because you're old. And talking a huge game about Shredder, how they're gonna tell him where to get off. This is the other best part of this.
Yeah, it's just
you actually get to turn the camera for a hot second and actually see how many kids are in the crowd.
It's
kind of cool.
That is kind of cool.
There you go.
It does look terrifying still, but it is cool.
Oh, that's my nightmare. How there is a non-zero amount of kids who thought they wanted to go to the early bird show, got in that crowd. Those lights went down and that music started, and they started crying like crazy.
100%.
I will. 9 out of 10 kids.
Yep. I guarantee you the thing happened where the parents knew that was going to happen, and they told the kids that was going to happen, and the kids said, "Nah, I'm gonna be good. I got it. I can handle this."
Well, maybe,
and then that happened, right?
Maybe that's how the parents like basically like toughen them up, like for their constant cultural battle against the Australians.
Oh,
like Australians are like hardcore. Like Australians are like actually I killed a man, and you're like,
yeah,
word. You mean you saw a man killed? He's like, maybe. And you're like, whoa, okay. And in New Zealand, they're basically Flight of the Conchords people. This is my American perspective.
Oh my goodness.
In New Zealand, they're basically Flight of the Conchords people who are like very nice and like they're awkward, but they don't want to make things too awkward. So they they keep making things awkward, and they're just very nice. But Australia will eat them actually alive if they don't make their progeny tough to fight the next cultural war, to fight back Australia. So that's my headcanon. I read that on the internet.
On the internet. Oh, well, speaking of things we read on the internet real quick, and especially about like Australia. I don't know if you saw in the trailer, but I referred to us as Seppos because it's septic tank. Yeah, apparently that's their slang for us, are Seppos, because we are like something about like I'm totally crossed up on a lot of the stuff, but I know that is the term. Had something to do with making fun of Yankees and comparing them to septic tanks, and that's what the Australian slang for Americans is. And so, yeah.
Australians or New Zealand people?
I don't think it's New Zealand people, because like you said, from my understanding, they tend to be a little bit more nice than, not necessarily more nice, but less, I don't know. I feel like we're getting into dangerous territory here. But from what I read, that area...
Every Australian besides my man Mike Hatfield.
There we go. Okay, cool. Well, that's the one I was worried about.
At least my seasons are right.
Right.
At least on Christmas, it's cold.
Oh my
At
goodness.
least during July, it is hot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Call me a seppo if you want, but I mean, but when it's Christmas, I'm not out there with the Outback. You know who? You know what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness. Haven't heard it. Haven't thought about the
everyone
Outback
except Mike Hatfield, who we love.
Absolutely.
None of this goes towards y'all. Because he wouldn't call us seppos, but y'all,
he wouldn't.
Y'all.
But honestly, if he did, I wouldn't care because it's deserved. But
that's true.
Yeah,
he can do what he wants.
He can do what he wants.
He adopted a sea turtle for us. I don't know what Mike couldn't do.
Precisely.
You can call me a seppo. I'd be like,
yeah. And if I'm wrong, let me know. But that's just what the internet told me. So because I was trying to find something denigrating about like Americans to like culturally from for another culture. So anyway, having said that,
we do a good enough job dating ourselves, world. Don't worry.
Well, that's true. We do. We'll just wait. We will. We'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. But anyway, back in the hellish nightmare that is Auckland, New Zealand in 1990 for this live TMNT stage show. The Leonardo eventually makes his way back from the crowd to the stage where he is greeted with the other 3 Ninja Turtles. I believe Kiri is up there, and let's see, Russell is up there. Yeah. And then 2 random ninjas are up there, and they proceed to do a conga line. Now, when I say that Kiri and Russell are up there, I mean the puppets are up there with their handlers doing the motions and everything. Doing a conga line.
Now, this is where you get a full view because, and I wanted to stop you before, but I'm going to do it here.
Okay.
So the way you're kind of describing it makes it sound like it was so dark that that Auntie Kiri Key and Russell Rooster were just out with their handlers, just trying to hide in the dark, kind of. And I don't know if that was the case during that shot because it was so dark. I just can't tell you what was happening. I mean, I could barely see a turtle, frankly.
Yeah.
Here, though, it is confirmed that the way that they disguise Auntie Kiri Key and Russell Rooster's like handlers is, I think, the smartest way to do it. Where basically they're like stage hands that have like a big, almost looks like a dog bed.
Yeah.
That like a perch for them, and they're holding it kind of around their waist, almost like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Almost how you hold like a laundry basket, but if it's a big round thing. And those are the puppeteers controlling them. And I gotta say,
goodness. Okay, yeah. So
they're supposed to be stage hands. They have like little EBS like patches on they wear like blue overalls, like coveralls, almost like you worked on a set somewhere. Like they're just like a roadie. And they're the people that like hold them, but they're also the puppeteers.
You know what? I bet that those hands are not real. Like, so on the screen right now,
no, they're not. They're not.
Yeah, there's the laundry basket thing like you're talking about with the EBS on it, and I didn't see this before until just this moment. They have you can obviously see a black sleeved, black gloved hands, 2 of them gripping this thing. Now that makes a whole heck of a lot more sense. Thank you for explaining that.
Yeah,
because that makes way more sense.
Yeah, I want to stick up for Andy Kiriaki and Russell Rooster a little, and EBS a tad. That they definitely put time and thought into like, well, how do we get these puppets out from behind that desk? And like, this is a good way as any of doing that.
That is, I agree.
That's actually pretty creative.
Yes, because it's almost like they're just carrying an animal around, like essentially.
Yeah, like they're like they sit on their little bed, their little roosts, and like they get carried around by these stagehands. Which once again,
all right,
that's really clever.
So I was really irritated at the fact that they were just like, we don't care, we're just walking around. But now that you've turned me around on this, so all right, that's awesome.
I wonder later on if you don't have a different shot where we can get a better shot of it. But but you'll see it. It's pretty well thought out.
Yeah. So then they depart on their conga line, and we transition to a scene with Shredder coming out and antagonizing the crowd with his fist and pointing, and then we get our first looks at the main reason why we did this episode.
This is the main reason we did it.
Yes. Bebop, live action, Bebop and Rocksteady costumes. Like, I don't know.
First time, everybody.
I do not believe that in this era of TMNT that we had any live action Bebop and Rocksteady like through the 90s. I don't think we did. If we did, let us know.
to my knowledge, well, I mean, not to my knowledge, there might be things I don't know about, but I could speak clearly on this, having made it through half the 90s so far.
Right.
With things on the decline for this wave of the franchise.
Yeah.
Bebop and Rocksteady, and this is historically up to today, the year of our Lord today. Bebop and Rocksteady have probably some of the most limited travel of almost any character that was considered a character in the animated series with toys. Like, and many of them, like, they were part of the general assortment. They were characters. They were solid ass characters. They are the mutant equivalent of the Turtles, but for the bad guys. Like, they're equal. They never get dragged out.
No, never,
ever. When IDW put them in the comics, it was a huge deal because people were like, well, shit, they've barely been in the franchise, frankly. Like, if you really like zoom out and look at it, they're not very predominant. Anytime you see them, it's kind of like, oh shit, because Adventures used them, sure, okay, but that was just one comic,
and they did amazing with them eventually.
Mirage never touches them through Volume 2. Can't talk about Image because we haven't done that yet.
We're about to do it, but
yeah, we're about to do it, which I'm looking forward to. But the animated series, sure, that was their origin. They had toys. Okay. The manga uses them during the Mutastone situation. They're there, and they're in some games, and that's all. Like they get traveled around very less. They never appeared in any movies, guys. And the original movies. Now that they appeared in the Platinum Dunes movies way later. They made it to make 3 Golden Harvest TMNT movies in basically 3 years, which is why the second and third one are kind of not one Bebop and Rocksteady.
Yeah. Instead,
they're here in New Zealand.
Right, they're here in New Zealand, but instead
they're here.
They could have made them, but instead they made another mutant turtle and a dog. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I will never understand why that decision was made in TMNT 2 Secret Use. I do not know why, when they had toys lining the shelves, they had Bebop and Rocksteady were in every general assortment ever made.
Not even just the general assortment, dude.
In this era.
Dude, they were in almost every anytime the turtles got something, they were in it. Like the cave turtles, the samurai stuff, like all that stuff. Almost every time.
Yes. I guess what I mean when no, you're right. I guess I was using the term general assortment a little incorrectly. I mean, every year they are there. Every year there will be multiple toys.
Yeah.
Of those guys.
Yeah.
And I will never understand why we made 2 different ones. Why the hell Bebop and Rocksteady couldn't have been made by Jim Henson? They couldn't have come out there and been just as stupid, right? And been just as like no weapons.
Like, do you think that Henson was like?
It boggles my mind.
Do you think that Henson was like? So, we can make things that look like turtles, and we can make things that look like rats, but anything else, we're not good. They're like, okay, what about a different turtle and a dog that kind of looks like a rat? All right, yeah, let's go with that. And that's probably what happened.
Jim Henson never said I can't do what anything.
Yeah, he never said
entire life I'll do it.
Yeah, he never said never. He never said that N-word.
Hold my beer. Yeah. Like what was Jim Henson's storyline until he passed on. So
but he said it like Kermit though.
He probably did say it like Kermit.
He totally did.
And then his kids went on to run his business, and they also had their own little beers. And they're like, hold that beer. You know what I'm saying? Beer. So you hold my little hold my little beer. He said, hold my little beer. Hold my little beer. But that could be an episode title right there. But lo and behold, though, Bebop and Rocksteady, and I gotta say, unless I don't understand how materials work, someone had to actually like go in and that looks like plastic. They had to vac form those Bebop and Rocksteady heads. Now, once again, because that's just plastic. Let me just tell you. we're birthday candles here, boys. Like we're not talking about. I mean, this isn't crazy. This
You're not far off. No, not at all. You're pretty much on the money.
Rocksteady looks a bit like he could also have been a Stretch Armstrong toy.
Ooh, yeah, yeah.
He looks like underneath his muscles is a bunch of weird sand and foam inside hot dog skin feeling.
Yeah.
That Stretch Armstrong had. But no, somebody went in and like formed those heads. They are solid, like plastic heads. And then of course foam layered, not even latex. Just I don't know what's happening over there. They could have pulled out of the river. Yeah. But it's basically the bodies. And once again, they are Mirage style guide accurate to the fact that when you look at them, you know who they are.
Absolutely.
That sounds like a really low bar. That sounds like I'm being insulting, but they did it. And like I said, unless someone tells me different, I am utterly convinced that these were made in situ on the island nation of New Zealand because they were like, no one will ship us anything.
Right.
So I think they did actually a really good job for what they had because these are obviously just not official assets.
Yeah.
Did you have any thoughts on these guys before I move on?
I think they look pretty good for what they are. Like, and I think that they're definitely, I will say that, let me see if I can go back. So when Shredder comes out, like when these guys come out, the lighting looks neat. Like whoever's doing the lighting, like they're obviously used. I'm sure when you were there and like and witnessing it, it was amazing. But when you film it, it doesn't translate as well. But yeah, they've got like a whole sewer thing lined up and like all this cool stuff and using fog and all this stuff. And so it's very ominous and like brooding and just really cool. And I love that they don't have them using really any dialogue here because they know that the kids are going to be yelling the entire time. So there's no point trying to get them to talk over it.
Yeah.
I like that it
I'm
feels...
with you.
I mean, granted, don't get me wrong. I wish there would have been a story here. I wish they would have had some compelling stuff. But I think that the fact is that they know what they're doing. They're doing this for kids, and they probably knew that the kids were going to be yelling anyway, so that there was... I like that it seems like there might have been some thought there, but they kind of dumped it down, given that they didn't put anything there.
You're not wrong. I walk your truth, man. You know what I'm saying? I think the fact that they actually don't do any kind of dialogue and nobody talks to anybody and you watch dancing with dark lights with weird music for like, I'm not joking, 5-6 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
With just no dialogue insertion, no storyline insertion is actually what makes this really hard.
No,
there are
don't
some
get me wrong.
things that we've kind of, there's some things that we've said in the past, like, oh, that was kind of hard to watch.
Yeah.
But it was different because, like, the Turtle tunes and stuff like that was kind of like, oh, that's kind of hard to watch. But it's just Turtles, Barney. It's fine. Like,
yeah,
I mean, you at least know what's happening. This is like weird Turtles interpretive dance. Like,
yeah.
And I get what you're saying about kids just like partying out and like dancing and they don't give a shit. I get that. Like, I get that. But that's what made it really hard to like to penetrate as far as like my interest went. So I was
absolutely
kind of like, this is just like, show us your homemade outfits in the half light, by the light of the black New Zealand moon, while a song that we've already heard a million times from the movie One soundtrack plays through its entirety.
Yeah,
like songs meant to be 7-8 minutes long, just play out,
just full on, just let it run.
Yeah.
So I'm with you 100% that it does make it hard to watch. I was speaking more specifically to the villain section of this, how the villains specifically do not have any dialogue because they told the kids to yell turtle power and they're just going to be yelling that whole time.
True. It's true, but
I'm with you though. They could have done a little extra, but
yeah, well, I mean, look at the way the guy that played Shredder in Coots, and like his appearance on the Oprah show, and like and also, and when he was in Getting Down in Your Town, he wasn't evil Shredder. He wasn't, he wasn't like, this is your family, like I'll kill everyone.
Right.
Be a regular menthol. He wasn't that guy, but like, but he played like a really like comical, like God, kids, you know, those turtles are evil. And you know, and that's what gets kids hyped up. I feel like if that Shredder would have came out and been like, have you seen the turtles? Like to the kids, because they did the kids interacting the whole show.
Yeah.
Why not have the villains come out and like get those kids riled up? We're like, because the whole thing is call and response. They do it the whole thing, and that's very popular in kids programming. So if it's all call and response, why wouldn't you have Bebop and Rocksteady like walk around the stage like, come on, boss, I don't think these kids know anything, and then Shredder's like, stop. You know, and like ask the kids again, and in response they shout turtle power instead of the answer to your. Do you know what I mean? Let the kids rebel. There's a lot of opportunities. So
you're right. I get that too.
Yeah, I just don't know if we see eye to eye on it.
Yeah. Well.
Anyway, we have there's. So. Yeah, I get it. I'm pretty wrong usually.
Okay.
So let's see. So Shredder, Bebop, and Rocksteady wind up just walking around forever.
Yes.
Taunting the kids, and the kids are shouting turtle power the whole time. Plus a combination of wherever they want to. You suck. What happened to you? Why aren't you gone after last birthday? I thought I threw you in the garbage. Things like that. They're saying all this shit. This is my nightmare. Mom, please help. All these things. And they just leave suddenly. They're like, I'm gone. Russell Rooster and Auntie T.U.R.T.L.E are now wandering around the sewer, which is the same stage, just lit more green or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're just going through there. When they run into Raph, who then goes on to compliment the New Zealand sewer system again, before telling our foul hosts that the turtles have no choice but to stay in the sewer, given how hard some people can be on turtles.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently that's the thing.
To which Russell Rooster responds by telling Raph that he can relate, as people keep trying to freeze him and ship him to Kentucky.
Because of fried chicken.
Because he's chicken.
Oh.
And then Auntie T.U.R.T.L.E recounts the harrowing tale of how her people are smuggled out of the country and sold to, quote, green slave traders.
Yeah.
I don't know what a green slave trader is.
I don't either, and I don't want to. I'm kind of scared to.
If you are one of our New Zealand listeners currently like sobbing in a cold shower on the ground listening to this, because we kind of been like eviscerating your whole childhood culture for the last like 45 minutes. I apologize again, and we just hang tough because we love you. Tell me what a green slave trader is, or I might just call my own police. I might just contact, like, I don't know who I've got, like the NSA, couldn't they?
Yeah.
Department of Homeland Security.
Somebody.
We had a really bad thing happen about 20 years ago where we just added more security to everything. And I'm just gonna keep asking those acronym people until they tell me what a green slave trader is. If
that's the best way to do it.
So it might involve the FBI, CIA, NSA. We can name it DHS. I mean. ICE, I mean, call it what you want. Anyway, so Raph suggests, and this is cold-blooded, because Auntie T.U.R.T.L.E and Russell Rooster, they like to play games.
They do.
Like, they like to joke, and sometimes they say shit that's like not cool though. Like, they joke until it's not cool. So Raph suggests that they could also stay in the sewers then, because what with the green slave traders.
Yeah.
And then also the Kentucky Fried Chicken situation. I mean, like, why don't y'all just stay in the sewers? And those two birds act like that suggestion was just about the stupidest thing Raph could have ever said. Like, they proceed to make fun of the sewers with absolutely no idea how absolutely damn pretentious they sound.
Oh, yeah.
And it's mean.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So Raph's literally like, oh, cool, see ya. And he just goes to walk away because, like, oh, I guess I just tried to say come down to the sewers, but they're not good enough for you.
So then,
why don't you go be some fat American's lunch then? Is what he wanted to say. He was like, no, I'm out.
Right, but he didn't because he's classy.
I will check you on a pizza later at home. Where I live in Pizza Town, USA.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna. I've already sung about this. So, like, see you later.
Yeah.
In a variety of meats, pepperoni, sausage, chicken. I mean, you could be anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Goodness.
Bye. And he leaves. So just as he walks out, our two little rubber duck quacker kids come back. With an absolutely ridiculously TMNT-like name that I frankly could not be bothered to parse from the deep Kiwi that was happening.
Yeah.
I don't know. But they are now wearing bandanas.
Yes.
And they are talking mad shit about Shredder. They are in the sewers, and they were like, "Have you seen Shredder?" And I'm doing an awful accent. He's like, "No, but maybe he's got a soggy bread." And the other one's like, "Yeah, fuck him." And they're amping each other up. Like, "I'd like to see that Shredder right now." And they're just going off. And this is like the only part of the show I really like, where I'm like, these two kids are gonna get in so much trouble. These two kids are talking so much garbage on your boy. Like, they are talking the biggest game. Kind of, honestly, I'm like kind of here for it. I'm here for like somebody
to do something,
messing or effing around and finding out. I'm here for it. And these kids are just, I love it though, because they're kind of unhinged.
Oh yeah,
they're just talking a bunch of trash. They have that they have that naive thing. You know how middle, like very early middle school, like 6th grade kids. You know how they start fights thinking like, "Oh, I'm gonna win," and they get their ass whipped.
Yeah,
that's what these kids are all the time. They want to fight, but they don't know what fighting is and how they could lose real bad.
Yeah, that's like every 6th grader I fought always thinks that they're like, "I'm gonna win," and I'm like, "No, you're not." I'm like,
dude,
"I'm 38."
Every year, man. I mean, I live right by a school, man. Like, it's so funny, man. Like they think, oh, they were the highest shit in 5th grade. You know what I'm saying? They were kings of the castle.
Yep.
They come at me like, "Want to fight?" And I'm like,
"Yeah, I do."
I do.
And we,
anyways,
anyway.
So the two quack bros joke about how tough it's going to be, how kind of Shredder actually has a lot coming for him when he stumbles upon the quack.
Yeah, he's not going to know what hit him.
That cap you got right there is fantastic. Because that kid on the left is talking mad shit. That is how every World Star video starts. Frame.
Oh yeah.
That kid is talking trash, and that's exactly what's happening right now. So, anyway, they run off in search of Shredder because he's obviously not here. And later on, Lisa appears, and she asks the kids whether they've seen they run off. Lisa shows up and asks the kids if they've seen the quack kids, the little quackers, and the kids are like, bah, 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 because whatever. And she's like, "Oh, you have? Oh, great!" And out of nowhere, 9.95 just starts playing.
Yes.
And 3 adults dressed kind of like b-boys, like named something like the Electrocutables or like something with like Electra-ables, like electric lunchables, electrocutable. I don't know like bagel biteables. I don't know what was happening, but they're called something, and there's Electra something in the name. They show up and they dance around for quite a while. Eventually each getting their own solo moment to dance before they all come back,
and it's impressive.
That's all 6.5 minutes of 9.95.
Yeah,
that's all, just the whole thing.
Like
they may have looped it. They may have looped it twice.
Right, like 3 adults got paid to go dance on a stage show with the Turtles and these bird puppets to 9.95. Yes. Now, when you put it that way, Ryan, I mean, they're living the dream, right? Like that's. I mean, if someone would pay us to do it, I would do it. Like that kind of puts a different context on it. Having to watch it's one thing, but to be able to do it, I can't blame these folks.
To be able to go on the stage, bring your body into overdrive, 9.95 for a paycheck
for probably 9.95. Yeah, that's probably all they got paid too. So,
oh shit!
Yeah. Just there you go. But still,
it doesn't even cover parking. and then that's it. So they dance off for a while, and it's fine. And it was around here I made a note in the notes. I said, that seppuku is starting to sound like a pretty nice alternative to keeping my eyes open any longer. That was my exact words in my notes. If you guys don't know, it's just a couple strokes.
Yeah, that's all it is.
It's over. So I was like, do I have my ceremonial blade? Where is it? The laziness. I couldn't find it.
You can't find my blade to commit seppuku.
Yeah, I was like, where's my Honto blade?
Right.
I was like, I can't find it.
Dang it. Oh well, maybe tomorrow.
Probably in the garage.
Yeah.
My daughter opened a can with it. Anyway, so the little rubber ducks come back, and they are starting to regret their initial decision to confront Shredder. They're like, you know what? Shredder's got. We need to leave. And it's actually the best thing that they really could do in this situation. So they literally immediately like abandon their whole teenage Turtletarian names that they have, and they're like, no, we're out. Like I'm gone. Like this is outie. So they get done. So Lisa shows up again because she's just following kids today.
Oh yeah,
and they all joke around about it. Then the three shout turtle power. Because they're like, well, this is getting kind of quacky. They shout turtle power, and with the help of the audience, they summon the turtles. And this triggers kind of the end of the whole thing with T.U.R.T.L.E. power.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
From the movie one soundtrack playing the whole way through.
All the
way. TMNT confront Shredder and Bebop and Rocksteady and fight in dance form. And when you're a jet all the way. And this happens to everyone. And then as I was like trying to find the blade, I found that I believe that when the line in this song, the whole Raphael, he's the leader of the group, that whole thing came on, I started thinking about the fact that like I'm pretty sure that the adults in charge of this show probably knew nothing about the TMNT.
Yeah.
And just took the song at its word.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Which is why the show focuses on Raph. Like Raph walks out. Like Raph is like the one they're interested in meeting. Leo has no lines. Well, no other turtle has lines, really.
Yeah.
Except for Raph. I start to wonder if like, well, that's what the song said. Right. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't that sound like a Flight of the Conchords bit?
It kind of does.
A dead ass. Like they hear this old '90s song and they're like, he's the leader of the group.
Right.
It's right here. It's what the song said. And Murray goes and plays the song. You know, like that's what it feels like.
It does.
Well, the song said it.
And
then there's like, well, my kid said it was Leonardo. He's the leader. Janet, the song said it.
Right.
The song said he's the leader of the group.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? And they just made this executive decision.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the other argument is just that they all had red bandanas in the comic book, but I don't think they went that far into it. But I mean, if you're gonna have just one turtle speaking, I mean, Coming Out of Their Shells did that essentially with Mikey and Raph. They used both of them for the majority of it. So if you're gonna choose one or the other, it's pretty down the middle.
Granted, this was dead on 1990. Like, this is either pre or post movie hype, and Raphael is main characters in the movie. I mean, like he is isolated as like the guy. I mean, he has definitely the most storyline. He has the most to overcome, and it's his kind of trial. And his kind of trials of the story which kind of is the rails that all the turtles move on as well.
Right.
So,
and he his whole plot in the movie was Leo's from the Micro, right? Because wasn't it Leo that was the one that get beat up and then thrown into the bathtub like at the farmhouse?
Yes. Yeah. The Leonardo Micro.
Yeah.
With almost no words.
Yeah. Which, see, this had almost no words, but then it's not as good either, though. But it's probably, if they would have had Leo being the main one, could have been way better. But
this is not a enough said comic experience.
That's true.
Like I know and love.
Right.
And that's basically it. The show ends as quickly as it began. There's no more back at the back at the desk with Andy Kiriki and Russell Rooster. There's no denouement. There's no like ending. This happens. They fight and Shredder and Bebop and Rocksteady kind of wander off, and the Turtles do too. And then there's just a single page of credits that literally just says, "This is real," and Mirage said, "This is okay."
So you are correct, but you did skip.
You want to talk about the thing?
I do. Okay. Well, because we're this far. Well, yeah, but it's okay. So I know it's not, but there's this weird thing. Okay, let me talk. It's this weird thing that happens. So they have this ballet essentially, or this opera thing that happens right before. So the quacks call for turtle power. Then this thing happens, and it's this guy and girl. They come out and they dance. Then this other dude comes up, points a hand, makes a gun with his hand essentially, and points at them, and it's just a thing. It doesn't really make any sense, and there's no describing what this has to do with anything. I don't know how this ties into the EBS. Like, I don't know if this is how every one of their Saturday morning or morning cartoon things ended, was with like some drama, dance thing. But it none of the other characters address this. Are you okay? Oh, I thought you were gonna say something.
No. I was gonna explain why.
Oh, okay.
Because you so opening the curtain back. At one point you're like, oh, and then randomly it just cuts to like Batman's origin story, at least his parents. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't understand what that means, because Eric texts like 4 words, and like Eric's texts are often like Boolean cube texts, where you have to like put them in the water of your mind and let the 5 words like expand. You're like, oh, that's what he means. Sometimes. So I hear this and I'm kind of like, Batman. I wasn't done watching it. I wasn't even one song in. I was like, oh my god. But I was like, Batman. I was like, well, man, Batman was really big. Like in that time, I could see whatever. So when I watched it, yes, you do have like a woman dressed up all fancy, and you have a man with her. Could you be a boy Thomas? You know what I'm saying? And a gangster of some kind shakes him down. Most notably, besides being a stick up, nobody is shot, and he just runs away. And the unfortunate couple dance more, and then just leave. Yeah. Now, this is, in my opinion, because we're all about interpretive dance here at the EBS show. I'm going to read for you a stanza from the lyrics of T.U.R.T.L.E. Power.
Okay. All right.
Go something like this. On the half shell, they're the heroes for. In this day and age, who could ask for more? The crime wave is high with mugging mysterious. All police and detectives are furious because they can't find the source of this lethally evil force. This is serious, so give me a quarter. I have a witness, give me a reporter. Then they start talking about April O'Neil. Okay? And this is where they kind of, because there's another thing, another line. We need help like quick on the double. Have pity on the city, man, it's in trouble. We need heroes like the Lone Ranger. When Tonto came pronto when there was danger. They didn't say we'll be there in half an hour because they displayed turtle power. So I believe that what they're doing is an interpretive dance of a mugging happening in a way that is like removed enough for children to not be like scary with guns or anything like that, but seeing like a comical mugging happen where the two people just get robbed of their possessions and then the guy leaves and then they're okay. Is what I believe this is supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be going along in with the lyrics.
Okay, that makes a hell of a lot more sense, and it adds credence to your whole point about them actually listening to the lyrics of the song. Like, that's true. I think it backs up your whole theory about it, which. Yeah, 100%. That is exactly why they have Raphael as the leader up there up front. Yeah.
Yeah, for 100%. For sure. Yeah.
And so, but no, thank you, because that was
it is a thing.
Boggling my mind why they did that.
If there was a little boy next to them, you're right. It is one step away from an interpretive dance of Batman's origin story.
Well, I mean, like
if both of them got killed and there was a boy alone, it would be Batman's origin story. Well, so you're not wrong.
Right. But think about it. Like, it's the 90s.
It's just
so
weird.
89 Batman's already happened. So the kids our age, know very well. You see a man in a suit and his wife that's in a nice gown, and somebody comes up to them with a gun. We think, I don't know, maybe it's just me. I think Batman. Like, that's John and Martha and someone Wayne? Yeah, John Wayne? No, not John Wayne.
Martha and Thomas.
Thomas. Yeah. Why was I thinking? Oh, because John Wayne's
Martha whatever. And Thomas Wayne.
Yeah, that's what I think. And so Martha and John Wayne, Batman's parents.
Don't
okay.
Kill me, Pilgrim. I got my boy with me, Pilgrim.
Oh my goodness. So yeah. Okay, that makes a ton more. Do
you think that Thomas Wayne tried "Don't Take the Girl"?
I was just gonna say that. Yes.
Were you really gonna say that?
Absolutely. I was just gonna say that.
I think that Thomas should have tried that.
Take my money.
Instead of trying to get the gun from the man.
He
should have been like, "Don't take the girl."
Yeah.
Because it would have worked.
It totally would have worked.
Thomas may have died, but that's fine because then Martha would have been alive, and of course Bruce wouldn't have turned into a crazy person.
Right, so, and he would have, and in the end, he still would have got what he wanted. He didn't take the girl, so there you go. Everyone wins.
That's all.
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all need to know about "Don't Take the Girl" if you don't know about it.
You need to.
But yeah, it ends, and where she's showing. I was glad you got this because I kind of just went by memory, but like this basically is them saying like, no, this is real though.
Yeah, legit.
This is what this one page credit is.
Yeah,
it's like all quote, and this is an important thing, and this is really what gave me the feeling that while Mirage did like sign off on this, they gave them a lot of latitude, because it says all live appearances of the Turtles in New Zealand are under the exclusive control of Trevor A. Spitz Eventworks, Newmarket, Auckland. And it is registered and copyrighted 1990 Mirage Studios USA, all rights reserved. Exclusively licensed by Nick Watson Marketing, New Zealand. So that is them basically saying like, this is real. And also, we run the Turtles here, bitch.
Yeah.
That's what Trevor Spitz was saying.
That's what he was saying.
Like, this is the bare minimum. There's no credit given to any actor. It does not matter. They're like, this is legal, and we own the Turtles here, so it's okay.
We own them.
Is what that is.
That is exactly what that is.
You want the Turtles? You got to go through me. You got to go through me. That's basically what they're saying.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Anyways,
man, yeah. So that's, I don't know. Like, I'm glad we did it because I felt like we needed to honor Bebop and Rocksteady because they don't. If you're a casual Turtles fan, you might think that they get a lot of recognition. They don't. They don't get what they deserve. When they're done right, they're two of the best characters the TMNT has to offer. Either as like terrifying villains like IDW made them into, or like how sometimes the animated series, like when they were the superheroes, or adventures where how they ended up on that planet where they were exiled. All that stuff is brilliant, and it's just
adventures. It's one of the best written things ever to happen for the TMNT. So of course they did great. Like,
of course,
or like the fact that they turned them around was probably one of the best credits to adventures.
Absolutely, and I just felt it. There's the child in me got like I started like every once in a while I'll like find something on YouTube. And that 7-year-old inside of me like gets giddy and excited because I'm like, I remember looking for stuff on the internet in its infancy and, being like mesmerized by certain things. And like, I remember hearing other people, like I remember listening to the He-Man.org podcast, Roast Google Dinner. Yeah. And they would talk about like the early days of their group. What was the thing that your brother did? I think you did it too. Like the BBS things, like the bulletin boards and like the
BBS networks and stuff.
Yeah, stuff like that. They would talk about how they traded like images and like different videos and whatnot.
File share, like early file share on BBS was real life. Yeah.
Yeah, and they would talk about that, and I get so giddy still just hearing them talk about stuff that happened in the 90s where they learned that stuff existed that they didn't know about. And so that's the main gist as to why I wanted to cover this, because I don't know, it just excited me for a little bit. But as far as I'm aware, that's it for our bag of tricks as far as live appearances.
Yeah, we're back on we're getting back on the main trail, boys and girls.
Yeah.
We are getting back on the, like, this is the stuff that got officially released by someone who was making Turtles content that everyone knew about.
Right. I mean, as official as this was, as we saw in that credit scene, that one credit line.
A couple. I want to check back in with the YouTube comments for a minute, because everyone's been kind of posting, and I gotta say
and we appreciate that, guys.
That echo, love it. We've got your boy Grady. He says that thing is freaky. Chris Garvey says this is just a thing of nightmares.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for the nightmare fuel, guys.
That's what we do.
He also then goes on to drop old Melty helmet and the Soggy bread boys.
I'm assuming that's a potential title that he's throwing in.
That's a potential episode title.
Okay.
And then M says everything but the girl. You know what I'm saying?
M-dub.
Which.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, everything but the girl. And then he says hashtag new drink.
Oh, dang. There we go. Oh, we got
hashtag new drink.
We got Jeremy James DeWitt in there with these costumes are amazing. And yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
So
wow.
Yeah.
No, Jeremy. I mean, like, well, Jeremy's got them in.
Oh, yeah.
Jeremy's got a few melted birthday candles in the basement.
Oh, 100%. Like, it would not surprise me if Jeremy actually.
He's got some of those melted boys.
Oh, he has to. He has to have the candles. Like
he still puts them on his birthday cake. That's how he's got. Yeah. That's his like light a cigar with like two $500 bills. Like that's it. Right. That's his thing.
Yeah.
Is like candle full of TMNT birthday cakes, one for every year he's been alive.
Right.
He's just like. That's what your boy Jeremy does.
That is.
At least that's what I hope he does.
Right. So was M-Dub wanting us to new drink?
Yeah, I would say really fast, because we could turn the corner on this and then we could peace out. Into New Zealand and stuff like that. We know, like, I mean, the Southern Hemisphere in general, in Australia, New Zealand, honestly, like, kind of hard for them to actually get actual things. That are from the Northern Hemisphere, like to actually real life. Like playing X-Wing, it was wild because some of the best players in the world were Australian. Actually, they were like damn good at X-Wing. When were they gonna get new product when it dropped? Who knows? Yeah. They were never given a nationals. Yeah. Every other country, it feels like in the world was given one, but Australia never got a nationals. Some of that was because of like foreign rights, I'm sure, and there was little stuff like that. But at the end of the day, is that like it's hard for them to get something. And I think that this is, I'm sure, a ton of kids were like going nuts in that crowd.
Oh yeah.
And I've kind of said this. I've kind of said this like about other stuff where I'm like, look, like I don't care if I have to sit through it and I'm kind of like, wow, where's my knife? But if like I know for a fact there were a ton of kids that loved that EBS thing, man. They loved Aunt Kiriki and all them. Like that was their jams. And I gotta be honest, I was born in New Zealand. I've been right in that damn room, like getting ready to go to war with Australia, defend my home world against those crazy people. That's where I would have been. Yeah. And I would have been in that plan, and I would have loved that shit. And because that you can't help it, man. What you grow up with is what helps form who you are. Oh, so I will say my new drink is, while as a an American man in his late 30s, I would be, wow, this is boring as hell. I guarantee you, as a New Zealander child, at the ripe age of like 6, 8, that was badass, is what it was. Yeah, that was just probably louder music than they've ever heard. They probably had that music cranked up, loud as hell. Yes, dark lights, fog, badass stuff, man. Like, it's not me, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah. And M says, M says new drink was easy coming back around on the puppets after Guy broke down the physicality of it all. I think that actually was a very organic new drink. Like, where he was like, wait a minute, oh shit. I'm like, yeah, like
Yeah,
that was one of our moments. And
That was.
the little quacker boys not giving a shit.
Yeah.
But then also realizing like I don't want to find out about that. We're gonna leave.
Yeah.
Like this is all a joke.
Right.
Like that's probably my borderline other favorite thing.
Yeah. And then yeah, so guys, what did you think about this? Like, let us know if you did you see this live? Did you
Let us know what's up.
Were you in New Zealand to see this live? Let us know. And if there's definitely anything else that we've missed that's from this era, send us a link, turtlesoupshow@gmail.com. You can also find us on the home of the internet, turtlesoup at .com, just .com. And you can find us on Instagram, Turtle Soup Show with the underscores between each word. Let's see, we should be on all the podcast platforms. If we're not, we're working on it. Yeah. And rate, review, subscribe. We appreciate it. It means a lot to us. And yeah, I feel like I'm skipping a bunch of stuff. Oh, the Facebook group. Join the Facebook group. Lots of cool people there. A lot of fun to be had. And we normally share a lot of stuff there as it comes out as well. And yeah, as most people know, and people that are watching right now, we're on YouTube. So if you can go, even if you don't want to watch us and like you're not wanting to see us live or anything like that, even if you could just go and like and subscribe to our stuff, that means the world to us. And it's really,
yeah,
it helps out the show, and it boosts our ego just a little bit, and it keeps us from committing seppuku. To be honest with you, just as the numbers go up, it's just every day. It's like, all right, where's my knife? But nope, it's up to 83 now, and it's like, okay, cool.
You know what? The kids can keep cutting weeds with that or doing whatever, going outside and throwing it in the dirt. It's fine.
Right? Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Don't need it right now. But yeah, if you could do that, that means a lot to us, and we really appreciate it. And yeah, but if you want to go the extra mile, like so many others have, that have now, we consider them family. You can do that by going to patreon.com. Now, right now, it's a little bit of a mess. It's still almost everything up there is pretty valid. Most of the stuff's going to stay the same. There's going to be some slight changes, but in the next coming weeks. However, the main impetus, I don't even know if let me see. The main reason why you'd want to go there, it's not for the stuff. It's not for any other reason, just to show your support for the show. And if you don't feel like you want to, then that's fine. You don't have to. And you just listen, then that's all we need. You know, that means the world to us as that is. But some people, you know, they are real heroes, and they go all the way, and they throw pennies our way, and it keeps the show running. It got us monitors to where we could be one step closer to being supervillains, and it's got us all kinds of stuff to make this show even better. Well, like we like to think it's better. And yeah, so there's some I agree. I think it is too. And it's enabled us to see each other face to face throughout all of COVID. So that's one thing. But
yeah, got you a bunch more turtle soup that would have never happened.
Absolutely. Like, and that's your Turtletarians. That's your patrons that made this happen. And so if you would like to be one of them, head on over to patreon.com. Or you could go to again to YouTube and click on the description, and there should be links in there to some ways to support the show and how to get involved. And yeah, any way you choose, we sincerely appreciate it. And yeah, I think that's gonna wrap us up, Ryan. So let me see. Yeah, do you got anything else to add, or do you what you think?
Else time.